Sorry, you cut out then because I just enabled my sound card and started the stream. What did you say, sir?
I was going to worry about having lost my Xbox controller
Oh,
doodad, but I found it. It's plugged into my keyboard.
okay.
Perfect sense.
Well, hopefully the issue reported yesterday by Schalke, which was a brilliant one because I demonstrated to him unequivocally that I had fixed the bug, and he went nope. And then it dawned on me I'd only fixed the bug on the Xbox pad, and it was still present on the. So there is a patch live, so make sure you update right now. Force your Steam to update. And again, I will run the server remotely, so I'm getting a good indication of how the game is working rather than a.
How do we force an update? Verify integrity or something?
Yeah, or restart Steam. Or restart Steam, whichever's quickest.
Doesn't it queue the updates if you don't force it?
If you restart Steam, the first thing Steam will do is it will go, what's new? And then it goes, oh, whoa, you played this yesterday. And because you played it yesterday, it will immediately update it. That's why sometimes Steam goes, oh, in July next year or something, I'm going to update this game.
Timing fail. Ship should arrive soon. Ship data should arrive soon. Followed by RPG server failed to look up local RPG player blah.
Okay. Firstly, I haven't run the server yet, so I have no idea what you've done.
Oh, I pressed client and it succeeded to connect. I'm also connected to Ironite.
Yes, so don't do that because he's definitely not got the right version. So join by friends. Oh,
okay.
You can't because you're not my friend. Let me join the server, and then you should better join by friends to me. Because you're not the friends of the server, which is on purpose. And I'm hoping I fixed the issue that was apparent yesterday with everyone being called unknown. What happens now is if it fails to get your name from Steam, it will try again.
Right, let's give it a go.
As I said, the state now is not can I break it, it's can I play it. But I am in the server as a client. Just reversing out the way so people spawning shouldn't hit me. Ironite, you broke it, man, by you being.
Shall I leave?
No. You broke it by being another server. We've never run two servers before.
Oh, okay. So was a good thing?
Well, yeah, confusing, but fine. Anyway, so who's that that's just joined?
I saw UA-Tech was just on my server, but I just pressed escape and the server is now gone.
Yes, so if you all join, hopefully, the server that's up.
So I joined you, and now the ship appears to be orbiting.
Yeah.
Just maneuvering at random.
No, it's because you spawned inside another ship.
It seems to be trying to right itself
where are you?
inside another ship.
I think I just joined my own server again. I don't know.
And you can join via the friends list, assuming you've got me on. So, just a reminder of the controls. So, joypad, preferred. Right stick makes you look up or down or straight. And that then lets you see what toggles there are. I highly recommend you play. I highly recommend you play with aero on rather than off. And I also highly recommend, pretty please, could you name your ships for me? Because that makes my life much easier. So just type /name space or enter /name, name of your ship, enter. Because there's a taxi going around here with no names. I don't know whose it is.
Players 1, I don't think it's me.
Just name your ship. Just while you're in the game, type /name, name the ship.
I think I just crashed.
Oh, possibly.
I think it sent you a crash log.
No, it doesn't do that, sadly. You know when you say, when Windows goes, do you want to report this to the developer? I don't get those. I don't know how you get them. Anyway, I can see Rob now flying around, smashing his spaceship into things.
I definitely wasn't doing that on purpose.
Maybe I'm gonna try to save that log and send it to you. Whatever happened right now.
Yeah. So Rob, if you fly out of here, out the dock, the one of the exits in front of you, and then fly up a little bit, you should hopefully see a. Oh shit! I'm a client. I can't do what I was going to do. Haha. We can have a go. Here comes Rob. Actually, can you all meet outside the hangar? The hangar that you start with, there's an exit, the one directly in front of you. Can you all just fly there and up and out? And above you should be a yellow spaceship carrying a red container. Above you, Rob. Just fly straight up. No, just fly up.
Up?
Yeah. No, don't point up. Fly.
How do I fly up?
Left stick.
What, click the left stick?
No, move the left stick.
Oh God, hold on. I'm so confused. Okay.
Left stick move, right stick aim.
Okay.
Where's everyone else?
With my battery to recharge.
So I did not figure out how to play it with keyboard.
WSAD, QE, and the mouse, and is it IJK? I really recommend using an Xbox pad.
Yeah, I don't think A and D did anything I expected it to.
They don't. They shift sides that.
No,
No.
J and L, the
Oh, yeah.
AD equivalents will do that.
Oh, IJK now are a so you can play on WSAD, IJK. Do you not have an Xbox pad?
I have one.
Yeah, use that.
Not an original one, but
It's
usually
not. Yeah, I'd use that. So
it gets detected as one, but this one doesn't.
So I don't know.
No.
There's one taxi who's on top of the hangar. You're in the better place. Can you guys? Hopefully, you can see a cargo ship. Hang on, who is that? So the person who hasn't named their ship. Who's that? Who hasn't named their ship?
It's probably me.
Could you name your ship? Enter /name.
What slash did you use? Because I have a German keyboard.
The one on the
So
bottom left to top right slash. Or slash or backslash? I've never
That's
known.
a forward slash because it leans forwards.
Well, not if you're heading left. It doesn't.
It leans the forwards the way of the text.
Schalke, have you named your ship, or are you not in?
I thought it would carry over. I have not named this session my ship.
Remember, if you've changed ship because you're on a tugboat yesterday, if you change ship, it just won't match. You're naming a ship, not you. So if you sell this ship, it will be called the good ship.
Should I go tugboat?
You can try.
I should just name my ship.
Just name your ship for the moment.
So what was /name?
/name space the name you want your ship to be called. Hopefully, for some reason, Eurotex is called Eurotex Space. Good job, Rob. And there's Super Taxi.
I don't think that was me who called it Eurotex Space.
Well, someone typed space. So
Should
yeah.
hold it like I'm.
Raven Princess. Awesome. Right, so Raven Princess is in about the right place. Max, can you just fly upwards, just straight up and turn to your left? Rob, come back.
I don't have enough power to decelerate.
So Max, 180 degrees behind you in a moment is a yellow spaceship carrying a red container. I do find it amazing, and I find this because you're playing in 2D, you're not looking up or glancing around at all, which I know is a bit of a pain, but you're so close to the spaceship which you obviously can't see. You're so close to it, it's enormous. It's to your right, it's above you. This is an issue I found because we're not in you're not in VR. In VR you just glance up, but obviously in 2D it's always more tricky.
Oh, this is why games like Free Space, and I'm showing my age quoting that, have little telltales say, there's something over here.
Yeah,
And radars, obviously.
I'd have to show that constantly though.
So,
Learning to actively perceive could be a sensible thing.
Well, I don't know what's a sensible thing. There's this stuff all over. But yeah, so that yellow spaceship with the red cargo container, that should be network synced between you. So let's try.
Minimal transporter.
Yeah, so let's try and break it. So can you press 6 on the numeric keypad? That will turn you into a tugboat. There's one tugboat. Now, the cargo button, that's button 3, that toggles your tractor beam off and on. So you have a tractor beam at the front of your spaceship. You will reach
Which button again?
3. Yours is on, Max. Ironix is off. You should just be able to see it, but that might not quite work. But yeah, you'll need to rename your ships because these are new ships, so they don't have a name. Sorry, just to be awkward. But
Why is my ship rotating to be upside down?
It's not.
No, it is.
No.
It's doing a barrel roll for no reason that I can tell.
I don't know which ship is yours because you've not named it. We have a
I
super.
have just named it.
Oh, these ships don't have decals, so that won't work. What a pain. Okay. So Ironite is just quite a nice shot. I'm going to grab that.
Tugboat. What button was the? Sorry, I was just busy trying to get my setup going so that I can see what you're talking about. Turn into a tugboat.
Yep, you are a tugboat. So,
How did I do that?
Yeah, so button 3 will turn on the force fields. Yours is currently off. Like the what's the opposite of a tractor beam? Tractor beam feels like pulling. What's the opposite of tractor?
Repulsor.
Repulsor. Excellent. Repulsor beam. So I don't know. If you press 3, you should turn on your repulsor beams.
3.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Is it on now?
No.
Running lights 3.
No. Running lights is 2.
I'd press 3 and show accessory toggles.
It should say
what?
It should say cargo on, cargo off when you press 3.
I think I'm still a taxi.
No, you're definitely not a taxi. Well, maybe. Can you just do a barrel roll for me?
This one.
Okay, that's not you. I don't know who that is.
What's the big parking sign in the middle of my screen for, and how do I turn it off?
Left click, stick. Left stick, click. You got your handbrake on. Anyway, while everyone else works it out, Max, if you just get a little bit closer, the tugboat should start to move away. Not the tugboat. The
Mineral container.
The mineral container, yeah. You should be able
Does
to...
it matter where I shove it? Just anywhere on the container, anywhere on the ship that's doing the transporting?
Wherever you shove it, it will be pushed away at that point.
Okay.
So this is a yellow ship with a red tugboat.
Yeah, it's out the front of the hangar that you start in. I mean, if your tote's lost, you could just quit and rejoin. But I mean, I can see you, Rob. You're facing in the right direction, but you're not travelling in the right direction.
It's warning me about colliding with it, obviously.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't know you.
I think I've... there it is. Big mineral container.
Hey, okay. So on my screen, that's working. But the important thing is, now, if we're not network synced, everybody else will very rapidly see this in a different place to you. And I don't know if that's the case. So what is Rob flying? Rob is flying a police ship because... Wait.
Some buttons.
You're flying a police ship, Rob?
Possibly, yes.
Are you flying it at 45 degrees for some weird reason?
Yes, because I don't know what's going on.
Right, hit F5. Look, oh no, click the right stick until you're looking down.
Oh, click the right stick until okay. Until I'm looking down.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you got both of those toggles on?
Which toggles?
The ones that you can see when you're looking down.
I don't know what toggles look like to you. I can't see any toggles.
You're not sharing your screen, so I can't comment.
F5 and F6.
Yeah, but don't say that because that doesn't help because he can't tell us. That's why teach a man to
Oh,
fish.
is he in VR?
No, teach a man to fish. Don't just say, click here, click here. It's like tutorials, computer games. Click here, click here, click here. Well done. Okay, Rob, press F11.
What?
It's on the keyboard. That's better, isn't it? Cool.
A lot better.
Yes, you have the F5 toggle on and the F6 off. So press F6 to turn on whichever one that is.
How do you know this? Where does it say this?
Bottom left. It's under. If you click on close, you can get rid of the red text too. I've been
down there, the and F6 toggles that are miles off to the side. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, but
Gyro balancing on. So
there we
F5 is steering and gyro balancing. Right. Okay.
awesome. So that's now actually working. So Ironite, you are in a tugboat, I think. So if you could do a barrel roll for me.
I'm in a taxi. What button was that for the tugboat again?
Numeric pad 6.
Oh, number 6. Okay. Switch local ship to tugboat.
I don't know where you are though. I can see 3 tugboats around this ship. So somewhere you are.
I'm totally somewhere else. I went out of the starting ship.
Are you definitely a tugboat? Cool. Do a barrel roll. Just keep rolling. No.
Next to this huge asteroid.
That doesn't narrow it down. You're in space. There's asteroids everywhere.
There's a long freighter ship close by. Oh, I can see that round thing. Oh, there are many of these.
Okay, I think I found you. If you just do a barrel roll, use the bumpers on your pad. Awesome, found you. Okay, you want to head forwards a long way. Let me line you. You want to be about 45 degrees to your right. You should see a big grey building.
Well, that was weird.
You see a big grey building. That's it. Keep turning. Keep turning. Should be more or less in front of you. Yeah. And if you
can see it now.
And again, if you don't have F5 and F6 toggles on, I highly recommend you have them on, because otherwise you're flying a true spaceship. So yeah, your goal is to try and dock that spaceship into that there while I film it.
What?
Not you. Your goal is to just get in the same half of the level as the rest of the people.
I'm in the same half of the level.
Not you.
What?
I was talking to Ironite.
Wait,
So one of you, and I don't know who it is because I can't name these, does not have their cargo toggle on. That's number 3. That's the repulsor. Look up if you're not sure if it's on. There you go. Now everyone's got it on. Now, I'm just looking between Rob's screen and my screen, and they do look pretty in sync. So both Rob and I are a network client. I do note you haven't managed to get the ship very far from its starting position yet, though. You've just kind of batted it around. Maybe give it a nice shove from behind.
I rammed into it and nothing happened. And then I backed off it and then suddenly it started moving.
Why did I start so far away from you guys?
Unless it was moving relative to me.
You didn't. You flew there.
I didn't even know how to fly back then.
Where are you? I can't see you at the minute. See, these tugboats, they don't have a lot of the fluff. Ah, there you are. Yeah, so Aaron, if you fly through the hangar and out the other side, you should see the ship, which the lads here have started to move. But the question is there a game in trying to move things like this? And how do I make it betterer? Because right now I kind of feel like it's doing brain surgery with chopsticks.
It's really difficult,
right?
Because the controls for flying around are difficult, and also I don't actually know how much pressure. Like, oh god, what am I doing? Down. I don't know how much I'm actually exerting on this thing.
You don't need to know. You just need to push it appropriately and then stop.
I don't know if I'm pushing it at all.
I
mean, I'm flying towards it with the purple lights on, and I've just hit it and bounced off, and I don't know if I've done anything.
Yeah, I think the synchronization. I think it's a bit too lackadaisical. Ironite, you want to come out the other side? You've just flown out the hangar the same way you flew in. So one thing that Max learned yesterday is to be more gentle with the controls, not just to accelerate and brake as hard as you can, but to do a little bit of input and see what happens. I'd say that does look very cool, though.
I think I'm out of battery.
Oh, well, I can't help you there.
I just flipped the breaker again and now it's on again.
Oh, ship
Whatever
battery. Sorry, I think that mobile phone pad battery.
No, ship battery.
Gosh, I'm really struggling to fly this on this many axes. Oh God, why am I upside down?
So one thing I find useful if I'm doing slow speed maneuvering, I keep the handbrake on, because then if you let go of the controls, the ship will just come to a halt, align itself. So the handbrake does stuff below 8 meters per second. I am wondering if this ship, it does have code to return it to its natural position, but that's supposed to be ever such a nothing. Right. So, see the other ship that's below it? That one will not attempt to return to its start position. I'm a little concerned because you guys haven't even bumped into it accidentally. So this ship you're touching will try and return to where it is, but very gently. But the other one won't. So can you try it? So I don't know who's flying into the cockpit of it. That looks excellent. Nice and gently. Smash. That wasn't gently.
So I don't know how close I have to be to this thing to make it move.
Sure, but how do I solve that?
Into a target instead of impact detected, say distance to banana container.
So tell me what the distance is.
Third arrow on the ball.
Have it in green text if your tractor beam's on. Have it in red text if your tractor beam's off, so you know you're going to clobber your ship into it rather than.
Because I think all I can see is some little purple triangles on the HUD that indicate that allegedly I'm doing something. But right now, if you look at my screen, all I can see is the back of this tug. I don't know if I'm doing anything or not.
Sure, but that's why, realistically, this is not a single person job in the same way it wouldn't be in reality, really.
Oh, but in real life, well, in tugging, you've got a big fucking ship which is pushing presumably forwards, right? And then the tugs sort of just try and correct that forwards motion left and right.
Yeah.
Whereas here, the thing's not moving, so there's no force to fight against.
But if you push it forwards, it will move forwards forever. It has no reason whatsoever to do anything other than move forwards forever.
So, does the pilot of the mineral bit that's hooked onto the container, the ship, the other end,
he's dead.
He's absolutely stone dead, doing nothing. I've got close enough. You guys can do the port controls.
So
I would like to sort of bind my ship to the container and have my ship bearing on it.
That's not going to happen. The reason I'm considering this gameplay feature is because the ships don't touch. Like if you've ever played, any game, SnowRunner, Wreckfest, any game, you have vehicles moving, touching each other, shit goes wrong. It always does, and that's one of the hardest things. But tractor beams have the advantage that you're not quite touching.
Increasing the range on the tractor beam.
I think I collided
more
with that.
intense the closer you are.
I'm wondering if this thing needs a little bit of drag. Yeah, that might be better. Because I implemented this, but I haven't had a chance to tweak it, you see. So we have the issue that where you guys are seeing the heavy cargo test sync test, it will be correct, but it might not be correct now. I think I've got the numbers a little bit too low.
I have tried to push the free floating one, and I don't seem to confirm that I have pushed it at all.
So I was pushing it from behind a couple of seconds ago. Were you pushing it from the front?
I was pushing it towards the dock.
Yeah, I don't appear to have moved it either. So,
okay, can you guys just, without hitting it, ideally, on the lower ship, the one without the cargo at the back, the heavy cargo testing, can you guys just sit in front of it where you think it is? Because I've been tuning the numbers here for the next test, and I funny thing, part of it is it's just taking a.
Oh well, now I can't sit in front of it. Who crashed?
I crashed.
Smashed into it.
That was part of the primary instruction, was don't smash into it.
But, so Max has smashed into it, you've seen it move away, I haven't.
And I didn't think I was very near it.
Shark crashed on the ship.
I think there might be a more fundamental bug here because maybe I shouldn't have typed in 100,000.
I'm doing a barrel roll, touching the
Oh
ship.
shit! Don't crash. Is somebody shoving it from behind? Or am I just floating past it and I've got my...
I was touching it, facing it. I'm trying to mark where it is.
I am
The
going
one
to...
that you said doesn't fly anywhere. It's just flying off.
It's not.
Well, it is.
It's not. It might be...
I've got my handbrake on and it's bouncing around. It's pointing down. It's pointing right. It's pointing... It was pointing down and then it pointed up and then down.
What
and now
it's
steering
doing
to the right.
is it's attempting to synchronize with where the server thinks it is, but those numbers are not strong enough. So your local simulation is not being overridden. So I've just cranked up the numbers by a factor of 10 for the next build. Because it's very hard to test a single player. I tested it, it works. It's only when, obviously, a bunch of you are actually trying to do something that it becomes obvious that it doesn't work. Start client. So can you guys all switch back to taxis, which I will look up what one that is. Because they definitely... So taxis are the most polished vehicle, and taxis are 1 on the keypad. So if you could switch to taxis and name them, pretty please.
Oh, somebody switched to taxis and teleported to a different place.
No.
Yeah, because I
That's
saw
it's probably
a
just
taxi instantly move and appear on my screen with its tails tracing across the screen.
Oh, yeah. So I've placed it in the right place for the first frame, but what happens is Unity draws a trail from 000 to the right place.
Oh, okay.
So I thought you meant it had whooshed in.
It kind of looks like it's whooshed in less than 1 frame.
Okay, so pretty please name your ships. We have ESSEC. That might be something rude in foreign languages. Something
Also, when I
rude.
type, it
Very
appears
good.
to be maneuvering.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look at my ship.
Yeah.
Something rude.
Oh man, I thought I fixed that.
Oh, there you go.
Stop accepting key for movement during.
This didn't work.
Are you, is somebody maneuvering the one container attached ship again?
Yeah, don't worry about that. So I have improved the numbers. They're a lot better than they were. It's not a great simulation yet. I literally wrote this in 4 hours flat. But can I try? Oh god, you're all smashing around.
What did I hit? Oh, the containers.
Just reversing some containers. So
I'm having some weird behavior and strong worded errors.
Strongly worded errors. What?
On caps, this is not supported or expected to happen.
Ah, that's a lie. No, that's a lie. I need to get rid of that message. That was what I was implementing today. This is not. I've got a strongly worded error message. Yeah, the comment above it said, this is okay. Oh, now I'm writing it. So to the left of the hangar, if you're looking at the hangar, is a spaceship with some pink balloons on it and an asteroid behind it with a door.
What, if I'm looking at the hangar?
Yes, to the left of it. See an asteroid.
Some pink balloons. Yes.
Yeah, asteroid. Can you all fly over so I can get some? I am trying to get bits of footage for the trailer. You say for a trailer.
A balloon, a pink balloon.
Pink balloons. Yeah, it's a gas ship.
They're not really balloons. They're just barrels attached to the outside.
I think part of the issue is the server isn't sending the updates often enough for physics objects. But I think the client's doing a good job, but it's not being told about it often enough.
I have a little head question.
Yes.
My headlight information icon is red. Is it red for off or red for you're in a tugboat and you haven't
Yeah.
bothered changing it back to blue?
So in a taxi, that cargo indicator turns on your taxi light. Like
Who's low load?
a taxi has. Low lod.
Low lod? Oh.
That was quite cool, but the camera's in a completely awful place. Can you all fit inside that hangar?
Probably.
Okay.
Oh shit, I hit something.
I can see it now. There it is.
That's actually really cool seeing you guys flying around. Even if one of you's entering the hangar sideways and the other one is way too quick.
Oh my god, get out of the way.
Oh no, decal. Some sorry. It's got E down the back from the back to the front.
Yes, they're all... Oh, that does work though.
Hold
Hold on, let me pop a picture there on the.
Well, I was too slow. I thought I was too fast.
What?
Somewhere here.
That's actually so. There, that's awesome seeing you all inside there. Did you mean to call yourself Hertzroffy, or were you trying to maneuver at the time?
Yeah, I crashed into the closing door.
Well, what did we learn?
Blame somebody else for crashes.
It's
Yeah.
really,
Always.
it's really amusing watching you fly. So whoever just went into the dock, instead of approaching from the front of it, you approached at like 45 degrees. It's like driving up to a garage and then swerving into it at the very last moment.
That is how I drive up to my drive.
But if you could drive in a straight line, wouldn't you? Who's upside down?
Maybe. Who is upside down and how?
I don't know. I can't read their word. It's not Ira's super taxi.
No, it's Schalke. He abhors the Starfleet regulations regarding which way your ship should go. So, could you try and convoy? Could you try and convoy over and queue up for the nearest taxi dock?
Taxi dock.
Where's the taxi dock?
So it's to the left as you come out of the hangar you were just in, and it's a way over. But I suggest flying at maybe 15 meters per second so people can catch you up.
No.
What's a taxi dock in this now?
Well, just follow everyone else. I hope.
I'll just follow Willy here. Willy Wonka.
Willy Wiggler.
Will-
I wonder who that could be.
How far? You say it's to the left when you come out of the dock.
Yes, but quite a long way.
You should
Oh, past the
not-
original place.
Yep, you're all heading in about the right direction. It does look very
We're
cool.
going to Alpha or still our gaps.
I can't remember which one's which.
Side taxi.
Has it got green lights?
That is very cool.
Up.
Not up. The whole world is kind of on a plane, and that is on purpose. Who's in front there?
Kind of a high plane.
That's just a flat plane. So Schalke's. Are you heading towards the Voron ring, Schalke, or
Still our gaps.
Solar Caps? Yeah. Yeah. So Schalke is heading the right direction, though he completely ignored my advice of drive slowly so people can keep up with you. Info.
Yeah,
Current speed 25.
Exactly. I have to do beyond speeding limits.
Is it a reverse camera?
Stick your VR headset
Yeah,
on.
it's called just turn around.
No, but I did think.
It's off.
Yeah. No, I did think about a reverse though.
That would be a really good use for a monitor, though. If you had your monitor mounted,
Behind you.
You set the game. No, you set the game up, and then you turn your back on your computer monitor, and that becomes your reversing camera. So you literally have to take your headset off to look behind you.
Ah, yeah, that's not. But you could just look behind you.
But you can't see through. I mean, if I spin my camera around, I get the seat in the back of the thing.
You can look out the back. It's not great though. Right, so Shaukus arrives at the taxi dock, and I've completely lost everybody else. Yeah.
Well, I'm at a different taxi dock, clearly.
Ira, if you do a 90 degrees to your right, and Willy waggling 90 degrees to your right. And
Sorry.
where's Rob? And Rob is... Oh, no, Rob's fine. Rob's coming along. No, that's Schalke. Wait, who's the really long named one? Is that you, Rob?
Yeah, I just renamed myself correctly, so.
Well, I've got someone whose ship name is Sumthra
was me.
E. Okay, cool.
That was me when I was demonstrating how the keys weren't disabled during typing.
Well, you're in the correct place. Oh god, I've lost everybody else.
Is this thing with a cross? Is that the taxi? No.
This is quick hop taxis. I'm at the right or wrong place.
Yes, quick hop
I
taxis.
think you're right.
Who's that? That is Ira. Yeah, Ira, that's another 90 degrees to your right.
Another 90.
Well, you didn't do 90 degrees. You did about 10 degrees to your right when I told you last time. So right in front of you should be I mean, bear in mind the structure I'm directing you towards is about 400 meters big.
Is it the one at the bottom of your stream?
Yes. And did we also lose Max? Where is he?
I'm hunting for people, but I can't see anyone yet.
I've lost Max. I don't know where he is. Oh, he's over
I'm by the repairs.
by the repairs. Oh, okay, well
Gamma.
you won't be in the. So there is an in and an out to the cargo, but right now there is a bug with Unity where sometimes decals don't turn up. There are arrows telling you which way to go, and they'll appear when they feel like it. So I wanted to get you to line up orderly, but Iro's just smashed into it.
I tried to brake and then my battery went out and it wouldn't brake anymore.
I bet you've been accelerating full whack sometime before.
Yes.
Well, maybe I was trying to keep up with someone, just not blaming it on myself.
Standard.
Shaka, can you go and pretend to dock again? Because it does look cool with you all around.
Weak hop taxi.
So it might help, Ira, if you back off a little bit to sort of take stock of what's going on. Because you're kind of just rubbing the nose of your ship on the roof of the building going, where am I supposed to be going? It's not going to work.
Weak hop taxis. So I'm going to do what the other guy is doing.
I'm pretty pleased with the synchronization of the player vehicles, though.
Yeah, it seems fluid. Even
They-
as a client from Germany.
Yeah, that's well. Actually, yeah, you're probably our first high-ping player, or higher-ping. There's always a trade-off, though. I can always make ships more reactive, but they'll get jerky, or I can make them smooth, but then they're not as accurate.
6 passengers. Now I understand that.
So, Rob, did you actually load anyone into your ship?
I have no idea.
Well, it does say.
Eurotech is starting loaded passengers at the rate of 10 kilograms per second, which is pouring passengers in. Mix them into a fluid and then just pour them in the tank.
You've heard of Soylent Green?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, apparently I've finished and I've started. Hold on.
Because you
That
load up.
doesn't make any sense.
It does.
Are you unknown? Rob?
So how
Yeah.
much kilogram do I have to wait for a full passenger?
Well, are you currently loading? There should be 3 places on your screen with little happy indicator bars telling you how your loading is going. And if you can't notice them,
1 passenger. Okay, so I have 5 passengers, so I can leave.
you have 2 passengers. Oh, you just smashed your ship.
I'm
What?
going to say, you say there are lots of happy signs. I can't see
it's
it.
finished.
Nothing.
Yeah, okay. Start and finish.
Drive forwards, drive forwards. Don't reverse into Rob.
I just did what the one before me in here did.
I have no idea why he did
I
that.
was being an idiot before.
Oof.
I've got a great bit of footage of you just smashing the ship through.
Sorry, guys, passengers. Where do you want to go? Is there a?
Well, I'll come back.
On left.
Let me come back to you in a moment. So, Rob, you're full. So, what is your? So you have a dynamic readout, and hopefully that should tell you what to do.
It says, please come to a halt. So even though it says, please come to... Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's because it doesn't
Please.
know. It doesn't know what you want to do until you have come to a halt. You're not valid in the cargo area.
Right.
Who did
0
that?
kilograms of cargo transferred. Total in flight 0.
Cool. So in the bottom left of your ship should be a cargo readout
1
screen.
passenger for warp gate.
And in Rob's case, should click the right stick. That's better,
Right.
isn't it? So, Rob, the warp gate is just the other side of the black building to your right. And Ironite, where would you like to be directed to? Because there will be an ATC element to the game, but I haven't written it yet. Now, where are you trying to get to? Sir?
I have 2 arrows in the middle of my screen. Do they mean anything?
No.
What arrows? Yes, they are your velocity and your direction, but forget that. So right now, Ironite, is your screen completely plastered in multicolored text?
No, I pressed 11 to hide that.
Okay, you can press F7 to get rid of the green text as well.
Oh, I did that earlier.
Good. Rob, that's fine. Okay,
Thank you.
cool. So, Ironite, in the bottom left of your screen should be a little readout for your cargo. One hopes.
Not loading capacity. 2 passenger, 4818, I think. D's halfway. I know that place.
Ah. Where's the other one for?
Cargo Valley delivery bonus.
Oh,
Cargo
do
Valley.
you only have one passenger right now then?
Two. I think both want to go to D's halfway.
Aha. So, in front of you and select your right is a massive yellow spaceship. You want to fly past that, and then there should be a space station in front of you, and then you should hopefully see signs for Big D's halfway in. Should I? The problem is, to make signs that you can see from any significant distance, they're going to have to be hundreds of meters across. So there is a
Or just
sign.
have your cab know it's there and have something in your HUD.
Well, no, the idea is that I don't want to do that. I don't want to have the game going, go here. I don't want you to be following a GPS. I want you to be, to have the knowledge, as it were, but also to have someone guiding you round. But I don't know if I need to put more unique waypoints in. Because I've tried. You've got the mining ring, you've got the hangar, and hopefully you've all noticed the warp gates are different colours, so I can direct you by colour. I've tried to get, and I've named everything. So you've got the what's it called? The Narada. You've got the I forgot the name of them. Doesn't help. Cargo ship Raven, etc.
Doesn't help naming things if I've got to hunt
All
the
their
entire
valiant.
quite complicated world, and then figure out and then look at each thing to figure out if it's the right thing.
Yeah, but if I asked you to fly to the hangar now, could you?
I could now because you've called it a hangar about 8 times, but then there's the taxi hangar and there's the spawn hangar. Which one
Who's
would I
flying
go
this
to?
blue ship?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of hangars, but I mean, the thing that you guys flew inside was more of a private garage. But what I mean
thanks
is,
for clarifying that.
it doesn't.
verbally.
That's just because there is. I haven't. All I've done is I've just made it a place that could be a private garage later on. It's not anything. Currently, it's a test of the doors.
It's a very good door test.
It worked. That's more than I can say for my physics test.
So I'm currently trying to use my cursor, and I can point it to things such as cargo ship discovery, Harnack something, refinery. Where do you say are the signs?
So, can you share your screen on Discord? Because that does help. Because the problem is right now, as I said, this sign is... Oh, let me have a look. This sign is... I mean, it is huge. This sign is enormous. But because you're, in space...
But everything else is bigger.
I'm sharing it at rather low quality,
That's fine. I'm just
but it
gonna-
should be enough to see it.
I'm just trying to measure the sign I'm sending you towards. I'm trying to send you towards a sign that is literally 115 meters wide. And it's direct. It is in front of you. Just keep flying forwards past that big ship that you were aiming at when I said fly forwards. So you see the big ship there. Fly to its left, like the left of it. Carry
Cargo
on.
ship reliant.
Yes. And I'm
And then
hoping.
this one, the
Yeah.
sign there.
Yeah, actually, I think you might be out of the draw distance of the sign. I'm hopefully, by the way, Max and Shaka are just driving around doing taxi things, and it's all perfect with no bugs.
Where's D's halfway in?
That's where Ironite's going towards. So it's.
I don't know where Ironite is, so
Um,
that doesn't help.
Are you at the warp gate?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Pick up another passenger on your way out from the lunar
I've
limos.
got one who
Cool.
needs to go to halfway in.
Ah, well, it's quite literally just forwards for a whole bunch of distance. I do
The
think
draw distance on the sign is kind of low.
it's not. It's a kilometer.
Okay,
A kilometer, 100
Yeah.
kilometers away doesn't help.
Yes, I know, but I can't draw the entire universe. I'm afraid you're going to have to just. You can also
Well,
press.
maybe you need to give me a map I can bring up, just like in Monkey Island, where you go and bring up the map, you look around, and then you explore.
Well, that's not what exploring is. That's following a map. But one of the things I want to have is the concept of learning the area, and also someone directing you around the area. That's why I am doing the directing, as if I'd implemented that. So Ironite, it's on the other side of the space station. You can fly between the two signs and you'll just sort of see it, but you should hopefully see it quite soon.
Well, I saw the BD sign here.
Yeah, so
Just passing by it.
yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's the other side of it.
Stop.
But yeah, world building is very tricky. Like building a complex world with points of interest and things all over the place is a difficult thing to do, and it's time consuming. So some bits of this level are very detailed and I've spent a lot of time on, and some I haven't. But it's interesting watching Ironite fail to find the signs, find it. I mean, I know where it is, but you can't see it from... It's very close, but you can't see
I
it from where
found
you
the
are.
sign, but what part of this is the thing I want to go into?
Currently, all the taxi docks look the same. So how are you out of fuel?
I don't know.
Why is your computer off? Are you out of fuel? Do you have a fuel icon on your ship?
I turned the computer off because it was using battery.
Doesn't use any battery. But interesting,
Okay,
you think it does. With it off...
Well, it turned itself off, so I
yeah.
thought it was a good idea. So there's the sign again, but where's the entrance?
So that's the, how can I put it? That's the frontage. So if you look left and down...
Like here?
Yeah, down. You're miles worth of the station. Miles worth the station. There it is.
Everything's been on here. Okay. Well, you know what you were looking for.
Yeah, but yeah, this is one thing. I mean, part of this is to watch you guys and see what you go. I can't find it, so probably Big D's Inn needs a sign saying, you know, straight on half a mile or something. Who's stalking you? Is that Schalke? I know that
Maybe I
is
can
you.
see it. Essek.
That's Schalke. I think he's stalking you or trying to dock.
Stop! Oh, the brakes are not good on this car.
See, Schalke?
Need
I told you.
Need better brakes.
Schalke was bitching because the brakes are 50% better than your acceleration, and he was unhappy that it wasn't that you don't have to turn and burn to do a braking maneuver. But
Was it relevant for this?
because the brakes are better than the acceleration, and still he's like, the brakes are no good. Like the brakes are
was not using surge braking here.
No, but my point was, even if you did a flip and brake, that's still only 100%. Right now, the brakes are an extra 50% better than your acceleration. It's completely unrealistic, and still, I think, not good enough. Come on,
So
Arnaud,
what part is pulling my nose up?
That's the F6, I think it is. That's the gyro flight.
Ah, okay, because I was trying to see if Schalke left the place and it wouldn't let me.
Yeah. So what I've learned through playing the game is you don't really want to aim up and down. You generally want to translate up and down rather than aim. The same way the way you would in a helicopter. If you want to fly up in a helicopter, you don't point the helicopter up. You just fly straight up.
Because you have a gravity and such in a helicopter, but here you have all the degrees of freedom. So I like the concept of saying, well, I want front to be where I want it to be.
Oh yeah, you can do. If you turn
also
off,
orders of magnitude more complicated to fly that way.
if you turn off the F5 toggle as well, you have a full 6th off movement with no assistance whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I did until you mentioned it.
Yes, because you were spiraling. Internet, you need to click the left stick to put the parking brake on, or press H, or use the toggle in VR. There you go. So I can.
It won't unload them without the brake.
Yes, it does. It did say.
Who's the person smashing the hell out of Big D's halfway in? The person needs to.
He's a little bit.
Like,
it doesn't matter.
very high.
Bear in mind what you see is not quite.
Oh, okay, fine.
I do want to put a gentle push. Oh, that looks so cool. Okay, and he's off. Scraping the top of his ship across the. It's a little bit tight. I might have to make it a bit bigger. That looks so cool. And then Max comes in.
Still not sure.
Why Unity over Unreal Engine? Why would I use Unreal Engine for anything over Unity? Unreal only just got C# support, and I don't think Unreal offers any major feature over Unity, and hasn't done for ever. Texture streaming was the big one. UE5, the engine that's not out yet, because is it out? I think it may have come out a couple of weeks ago. Why would I use an untested engine? Let me know when some games have been shipped using Unreal 5, and I might consider it. I mean, if you're going to say, nanite and global illumination, then my response will be virtual reality, because like an Xbox can only just manage to render nanite with bugger all going on, let alone in VR at 120 frames a second. Don't get.
What is the minimum number of frames you need in VR for each eye?
45.
I thought it was 90 for each eye.
Oh no, minimum 45 with 1 frame reprojection. So you were going.
Oh, okay. So it's like the same thing, something different, same thing, something new, sort of thing.
Eric, but you haven't answered my question. You're saying I sound biased. Why do you think Unreal 5 is any better than Unity? What does it offer that Unity doesn't? What is the unique feature? And USAC, are you still heading to Big D's halfway in?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm completely lost. I can't find it.
Well, okay, but that doesn't answer my question. Are you still heading towards Big D's halfway
I'm trying to,
Okay,
yeah.
It's behind you by about a mile.
Oh, MSS station.
It's in the station. It's part of the station.
Oh, okay.
So in a moment, you will get the pop in for the ship, and I will make a note on that.
Wow.
Right. So Nanite and Lumen. Okay, I am not a developer with 1,000 people to work on. Bear in mind, right, to give you how out of touch Unreal are, they were very proud of the Matrix demo, which is amazing, because they went, it only took 150 devs 2 years. It's like, what do you mean? And therefore it's good for indie teams. They are completely out of touch. There is no way you will ever use Nanite, you will not use Lumen. It is not for games. And this is the other thing people keep seeming to forget. Those systems are for volume rendering. If you've seen The Mandalorian, or you've seen Boba Fett, they use Unreal. It's for filmic stuff, not for games.
You've got plenty of time to sort of stew over one frame.
It's also when you've got enough money to go. You're supposed to model stuff and laser scan it. No, Eric, there's no way I'm ever using C++ either. Like, what year is it?
Okay.
So you're heading towards.
Why would you go back there if you're using C#?
Yeah.
It's like going to the past.
Eric, again, what you're doing to me is you're spewing back the sound bites from the Unreal. What's it called?
Dev team.
Not dev team. The
Marketing.
presentations and stuff.
Keynotes.
So, Rob, you want to be other side of the space station. It's not. Nanite is not for games. Forget that out of your head. Games, next generation, PlayStation 6, PlayStation 7. It is not for current gen tech. It is for films. Also, removing the need to create LOD models. It takes me 5 seconds to make a LOD model. Hold on. Which one did I LOD? Was it this one recently? No. That one?
Making
Inside
Yeah, there we go.
the station now.
I'm not sure I'll be able to show you because it's static. I can't. Because I'm actually running the game right now. I can't show you. No, I can't show it to you. Making a low LOD model takes all of 5 seconds. And it also does not really give you a lot of performance boost. It used to. LODing used to be so important. It's just really not now. The generation of the assets. So, you know all the cool stuff you've been seeing about Nanite and Lumen? You know that's all scanned from real stuff. It's not been put together in Unreal. It's been literally laser scanned. It's not for small teams. This is for teams with budgets in the 7 or 8 or 9 digits. I mean, I'm sure you've seen that amazing train station Lumen demo. Have you seen that one? Done in Unreal 5 about a Japanese train station. Have you seen that?
The one that was trying to be horror-like?
Yeah, it's so cool. It looks so good. Do you know that demo's not real time?
What are the photos?
No, it's real.
I thought it was real.
No, it does look real. It looks fantastic. It's not real time.
Yeah.
It's so like, oh, okay. And I'm not saying Unreal can't do real time stuff. I'm saying those really awesome things you're looking at. That is a tech demo that in a generation or 2 will become what games look like. That is your hint of the future of games. That ain't games today.
Yeah, so I broke your game in 2 ways.
I doubt it.
I flew into the red hangar, and then I was inside the ship.
If you flew
of it. Maybe you just.
If you flew into the red hangar, that's on you. Why would you fly into something that's red?
I just followed the other ships.
Oh, yeah.
And now I think I'm out of fuel.
Now that's an interesting problem. Actually, Rob, are you nearly out of fuel?
Well, no, not. It just switched off, and now I can go on again. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, if you're nearly out of fuel, I will give you a bit more fuel, and you need to go and fix it. Rob, can you close all that red text? You can click on close, I think, in the middle of the screen. Yeah, that's better. So how much fuel have you got, Rob?
I don't know. Which one shows me fuel?
Oh, can you rename your ship?
Yeah.
Rename your ship to something that doesn't take up 3 lines of text in the readout, and you'll be able to read how much fuel you've got.
Which one?
You can't. Oh, there you can see it now at the very bottom. Remaining fuel reserves 0.00. Okay.
Now, how am I flying around?
Because okay. So here's a question. So while I mention this question, you can see in front of you a huge cyan diamond with a bit yellow text above it. Fly in there. That's the refueling station.
What's that yellow text? It does say repairs.
Oh, you can read it. Oh, cool. You can read it.
Excellent. I can't. Can you?
Not on your screen. So if you fly there, we'll talk about refueling. So and I have a question for you to mull over, and then I'll reply to Eric. What should happen when you run out of fuel? And Eric, my most successful indie game was called Fortress Craft. It was the 7th biggest selling digital title on the Xbox 360. My biggest ever selling game, I think, was Burnout 4, which I think it's 7.5 million copies. Whatever happened to Fortress Craft? It went on to become the 7th biggest selling title on the Xbox 360. 500th biggest selling title on Steam, I think. No, it wasn't free. It was 240 Microsoft points. So, Iron Knight, did you also work out where the repair dock is?
No, I'm trying to fly to something that looks like a huge cyan diamond.
Yep, that's cool. That's the repair dock. But I mean,
I'm wondering if the fuel has fucked itself up because we've switched between taxicab and thingy and back again.
Yes, you might not have been given a full tank of fuel. Good
But
point.
it said it was on. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, there's an easy way to check, but I wouldn't. So who is currently docked in the fuel dock? Oh, I don't know what happens if more than one person's in the fuel dock at once, and I'm not sure I want to find out.
Explosions!
I have a horrible feeling it might do stuff like count up a timer. Okay, Rob, you've just flown right past the refueling dock. Light speed.
I've also
that
run out of power.
Huge cyan diamond is the fuel dock.
Inside the huge cyan diamond, that's a repair dock of various things. So Rob, you have to think that you can't play this like a racing game. You have to play it like a spaceship game.
I was just being impatient.
The obvious answer to all this, the acclimatization to the game environment, is to say, before you can play this game, you have to have driving lessons. And the driving lessons take you through all the basics. And then if you don't remember it from doing driving lessons, then you don't get your license.
Right-click, uninstall. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. But there's nothing more annoying than games that I wonder how many people do. If you're given the option of a tutorial that will help you with a complicated game, I still wouldn't. Rob, bear in mind your handbrake is free.
Oh yeah, cool. I'll do that then.
I tried to refuel and I have 0 fuel reserves.
0.00 fuel?
Yeah.
How many units got put into your ship?
I couldn't figure out. It said all work done.
Schalke has finished refueling, load 148 units. Does the number not... Schalke, can you quit and come back in and tell me what your fuel is then? Because I have a funny feeling all it's doing is not updating your client. No, Eric, that's fine. Remember, I'm not just an indie dev. I was also a AAA dev for a decade. I have a good understanding of both ends of the system. Also, I've been a gamer for a lot longer than that. So I have hopefully a fairly good sort of indication of all of it. No, the ForgeCraft money is gone, I'm afraid. That was... most of my money these days come from Patreon. Thank you, patrons who are watching. And until September, I'm working on side projects in which I'm trying to A, make a bit of money, and B, work on the technology needed for... I've forgotten the name of it now. That game we're doing. ForgeCraft 2, that's it. So I'm just going to say, with the same assets, by the way, as what you're saying here, right? There's nothing wrong with Unity. I'm using specifically the renderer designed for performance, not for quality. But it can do high quality volumetrics. It can do all of this. It's just that probably not in VR and probably not this year.
Cash? Move along.
That's all you get.
All right. So let's earn some money.
The time I invested in Fortress Craft paid off, absolutely. It's also worth bearing in mind that in the 2 years before Fortress Craft's release, the total of all the games that I put together made $8,000. So before Fortress Craft, I made $4,000 a year for the stuff I was working on. So don't get distracted by the very successful titles. Bear in mind that there is also a lot of very unsuccessful titles. If you're asking me if I think it's a good idea to be an indie dev to make money, nope. You have to be very lucky and lucky and lucky. A little bit of skill, but mostly it's the luck. Shaka, did you get more money on rejoining?
You can't tell what people like.
I got full reserve near 100%.
Right. So that...
Liquidating.
I wonder why you're not seeing the fuel go up in real time, though. You should. I mean, obviously.
Well, it just says refueling, and then it says you're out of money, go away, and then it says you don't have any more fuel.
No. So, you, for some reason, are called Unknown. You, Unknown, that's you, has finished refueling and has loaded 96 units and costed $48. That's fine. The issue is your HUD hasn't been updated to reflect that.
Oh.
If you quit and rejoin, which should work, that's important to note. You know,
that's what you wanted Shelter to do.
Why is client fuel not increasing?
So I'm going to get back into my old taxi now.
Wait, what? I wouldn't switch ships.
No, I quit the game.
It'll be in the new taxi. It should even have the same name. I'm hoping. I'm waiting for you to rejoin, then I'll see whether or not you should join with the same name as last time, and with a bit of luck, I can even see your
It says
name.
join accepted, all done. I'm not in a taxi though.
Why do you think you're not in a taxi?
Because I'm on foot. I'm standing on a balcony.
Oh, did you close the game and restart it, or did you just press escape?
I pressed escape.
And then you pressed...
And then I pressed F2.
That might not work.
That was not the right way to do it. Okay, I'll
Totally going to press that and find out what happens.
Well, escape takes you back to the main menu, and then sometimes you can rejoin. I possibly haven't cleared everything down.
I want to get on the balcony.
It's cool in VR, but all this works in VR, just not on a Quest 2. Don't know why.
There we go. Refueled,
Are you back
but
in?
also no fuel reserves.
Okay, but Tech has finished refueling, loading 16 units and costing $8. So you have refueled, but you're
Loading.
on,
And 2 units, and then another 2 units, costing $1.
that's because I am nice, and I do try and give you money if you completely balls it up. So you have had time to think. So Rob, yeah, you just fly out the docks, you get your fuel. Fuel reserve 0.00. Okay, so if you quit and come back in, what do your fuel reserves do then? And you've all had time to think. Eric, I'm totally... are you on our Discord? I'm totally up for talking about this, by the way. This is interesting. I'm always prepared to help indie devs. It is such a difficult thing to achieve, and I always happy to help. So
Nice.
you'll always be on our Discord. Over cool. So you all had a chance to think then. So what's the answer to my question? What happens when you run out of fuel? And bear in mind, what happens?
Is this what should happen in a game, or what does happen in this game?
Let me re-ask the question. What do you think would be a cool and fun way of dealing with people running out of fuel? Have a think, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
They should just go on drifting out into nowhere. That's my
Scientifically accurate, cool and fun. I'm not too sure. How about making somebody wait until the AA comes along and refuels you or something? It would be annoying, but it would be a penalty.
How about you sacrifice any passengers you have for Soylent Green, which is how these vehicles are fueled?
That's gross. And how about
I'm out of fuel, you're next.
in a slightly more World of Warcraft way, what happens if you respawn or get an option to respawn as a refuel drone, and you fly out half a tanker full of fuel back to your ship, which takes you a couple of minutes to refuel, and then you're refueled and you can keep going.
And
That's a good
that
idea.
drone has infinite fuel?
I was thinking of some kind of scavengers coming by and trying to scavenge your ship because
But
you don't
what can you
have
do about it if you're out of fuel?
Get out and push.
Eric,
You
yes.
could be like hamstrung to 5 meters per second max
Could be
top
bloody
speed.
miserable.
Make it. Because I presume there's in the game world there's a difference between the main engines and the thrusters. So maybe you're stuck with just thrusters because they can go on infinitely, but your main thruster consumes fuel.
Okay, so 2 seconds. Eric, yes, I wrote all the shaders there. So Max, try it. Bring your ship to a halt and fly it. Where are you heading to? Big D's halfway in? Fly it there on RCS. Tell me if you think that's a fun game experience.
Well, no, because you have to get some fuel, wouldn't you?
No,
You can't get fuel because you've got no money.
You've got no.
So
You've
it's
got,
okay,
you've,
catch-22.
no, you've got RCS, so you can assume that you run out of fuel and you have money. Assume you're not that incompetent at the game. That's more of a balancing issue for me.
Very, very slow.
You'll do 8 meters per second. So it's possible. But I do have numerous options available to me.
So just making us slow.
Yeah,
My suggestion was make a refueling drone, and you can respawn as a refueling drone and then fly quarter of a tank back out to meet you.
So you're thinking very single player. Interesting. Okay.
I was thinking World of Warcraft, where you have to
It-
run back to your corpse.
Oh,
could be
yeah.
a job for someone. Bring fuel to the stranded player. If you happen to be a fueling job.
Fuel Bowser.
You could create a contract, get somebody to bring you fuel.
Yeah, something like that. I mean,
Okay.
it will be boring for you because you're just sitting there out of fuel and like,
Assuming that someone is
what a
gonna bring
great
it to
game!
you.
I can look at the moon.
Sure, but bear in mind that is your own fault. The game hasn't made you run out of fuel. That's down to you. You should have been paying attention to your fuel gauge, and the fuel gauge does turn on about 10 minutes you run out of fuel. And to be fair, you and Uatech and Max all ignored the fact there is a petrol light on your car. I mean, it's like ignoring it in a real car. It's also a terrible.
There is loads of stuff all over my screen. How am I supposed to know what's significant and what's not?
The battery
Is
one was
on the left? No.
just as pointless, so I ignored it like the battery one.
No, battery one's not pointless. What?
Yeah, but I could just turn the ship on again, so I was like, well, just ignore it and turn the ship on again. So I thought the fuel would be similar.
See, I used to have an ABS light that come on in my car, and if I turned the car off and on, it would turn back on again. But you know what? That would have been a really bad idea.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
say
early,
that's not what everybody does.
early you said the computer doesn't take power, so why does the computer go off?
If it,
Which
didn't-
is the one thing that's the last thing you want to go off.
if the computer, well, that's why I'm punishing you for running your ship out of power. I'm punishing you for having done a wrong. And if I didn't, you probably wouldn't have even noticed it. You'd be like, "Why is my ship not steering?" That's what
Beep, 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 beep,
Yeah.
and the battery sign.
yeah, but you've
I
ignored that.
received server packet of type E-player tick to server.
Are you failing to join or something? I don't know what's going on.
No, I've been flying around,
Oh.
but I keep getting that.
Sorry, you keep getting what?
Client received server packet of type E-player tick to server.
Oh, that's really bad. That means that you.
I believe I'm inside a model as well.
I don't care about that. That's really bad. That means that you received a.
I'm continually receiving.
Oh no! Hold on. How the hell did that happen? You received message type player tick to server. That means that one of the other clients is sending you messages, I think.
Yeah, another client thinks I'm a server.
That's awful. Bear in mind, Rob,
Yeah.
what's your ship's name? It does say on the screen. Question A. And Eric, it's not an MMO, but it's definitely, well, it is. You can put as many people as you like in the server. The only person, yeah, the only person that has a ship that's named is Max right now.
No, not
Does it-
according to my computer.
So it doesn't say the good ship lollipop. It says, oh, we have someone called A. Brilliant.
Okay, so my ship, my ship's HUD says it's the same name that I gave it before,
Ah, okay.
but so it doesn't seem to transmit to you guys.
Doesn't, does it? But Max is dead. Oh, I've got Terror of the Deep Voids. That's going to be Schalke.
Also, my auto steering and gyro balance turned off.
What, when you quit the game and came back?
Maybe.
I left the
But
hatches on when I left the car last night. Now they're off. Yeah, for some reason, you're. I mean, Ironite, can you rename your ship? Eric, I have one project using Mirror. I have another project using Lidgrin, and this project is using Steamworks. Bear in mind that even a network library is not. It's still not doing most of the lifting. It's you. You have to do most of the work when you're writing network code. That's just the nature. Mirror's really good, but
Airdrop Gamma, I know where that is.
yeah, I'm. Oh dear, that's. I'm really concerned that Rob was receiving packets from. So Steam's networking is weird. So it's peer to peer. So you just send packets to anybody you want, and you can ignore them, or respond. It's a bit odd. So you kind of start talking to them by just talking to them, and they receive a packet and go, oh, I don't talk to you, don't respond, or do. But in this case, I'm wondering if you're receiving packets because earlier you joined.
I never joined as a server.
You joined
And I wasn't.
No, you joined Ironite's game, though, so he might still think that you're a.
Process since then.
Yeah, I'm also mildly concerned. There are now a lot of crates spinning around really, really fast through the universe.
Okay, for me, there have always been a lot of crates spinning really fast.
Yeah, they're not net sync. They were just there to provide an interesting challenge. But I think an AI may have ploughed into them at some proportion of the speed of light. Who's his?
No collision with debris, is there?
No, that would be very mean.
So I managed to run out of fuel before I even got. So I refueled and then ran out of fuel before I even managed to do my next mission.
Yeah, I'm back to 30% already again.
But
I got as high as 30%. I got to 8% and then ran out.
I didn't get any more.
So, Rob, can you rename your ship? And what is your ship? Are you renamed Super Taxi or Willy Waggler or Terror of the Dark Void?
Should be U-Attack.
Could you rename it to U-Attack? Exclamation mark or something. God, Ironite's flying at 90 degrees to up.
U-Attack exclamation mark space.
And I wish I was recording that. That was a nice maneuver. How are you going to slam right into the wall?
No, I'm crashing anyway. Oh no, go on. Get out.
So
handbrake. Oh, I'm in the thing.
So part of flying efficiently is not. Well, first of all, Rob, you didn't turn on sport mode, did you? That's toggle number 5.
No, I did not.
Okay, are you sure? If you look up, you'll see. Is toggle number 5 toggled or untoggled?
Is up toggled or is down toggled?
Down is toggled on.
Oh, come on, it's evident. It's green and red.
And it's green and red. And the first 3 are in a different direction.
Oh, is that the end is green and red because the entire toggle is red?
Yeah,
and the end is pink and light green. Don't tell me it's green and red.
They are green, but can you see 3 toggles that are green? The 3 you've definitely got on. Actually, no, wait, hold on. You have 1 and 2 on and 3 off. I can see by looking at your ship. Why is your taxi light not on? Thank you.
Because I restarted the game since then.
That's really cool seeing that. Okay. Yeah, just make sure you don't have sport mode on.
Oh my god, why am I upside down?
Really fast.
The collision on that particular space station is very rough at the moment. Like, really rough. And you flew into it. I mean, I can show you because the particles are still there. You flew into. Let's take it in the AstroTrucks channel. You flew into that aerial sticking up.
Okay.
So once you're up to speed, you don't have to thrust anymore. That's just wasting fuel. Is that stating the obvious?
Okay.
Where are you just keeping the foot flat to the floor the entire journey and wondering where you're out of fuel?
Maybe.
So consider this game hypermiling. We should have called the game hypermiling. That would have been a good name.
I'll call it hypermiling then.
It's too late now.
AstroTrucks still makes me think of trucks.
Well, they are trucks. You're in the beginner vehicle. Do you know to your right, Rob, right now is a space truck 1 kilometre long? How cool is that?
I'm flying.
When do you pilot them?
Come on, I can't even pilot this.
You can pilot those. It would be numpad 5 is the transporter, though it's not as long as that. Yeah, there you go. Rob is now flying one of them.
Not that I can tell. Because it still looks the same inside.
It does look the same inside, yes. Yeah, I've only got...
And I don't have... Well, how do I get loads of cargo on the back? I want loads of cargo.
We've only got 1 cargo on the back at the minute. And I should probably be showing my screen so you can, guys, when I gesture, you can see what's going on. But it's mostly working. Like, But yeah, that big cargo ship there, that's what I'm expecting you to have to use the tugs for.
Well, let's see if I can shunt this heavy
Oh,
cargo test
I
around.
finally got a fuel gauge. Some fuel. Something happened and I got some fuel.
I have a funny feeling when you go into a normal cargo thing,
The dock.
it will dock. Yeah, Rob, you can't hit that one. That one's scenery.
Okay. Also, I may have turned something on wrong, and now I'm getting information about the good ship Lollipop.
That's because you just made a new ship. You're in
Called the
a.
good ship Lollipop.
All ships are called the good ship Lollipop. That's your fault. That's because when you did Tactics Forever, you called yours the good ship Lollipop, and now it's just stuck. It's my default name for ships.
Very happy with that.
Oh, that's a cool shot. Rob, please don't mess it up. Yeah,
I don't know what you think I'm doing.
Wiggling.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I haven't made the English. You don't take damage from hitting the debris. I'm not that mean. You do take damage from slamming into things, but I feel that's fair. Why don't I make a Trello note as well? Change default name of new ships to
No, don't.
names
Leave
percent
it.
taxi. What?
That's good. Just leave it as that.
So Arnott, you're filling up now, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you also have some cargo to hand in?
I just handed the cargo in the bottom in a.
So your next step is to pick cargo up.
Yes. Because I am out of cash again. I need money.
Well, but yeah, so you have just refueled, even though you. Oh, you've got your name now. Iron Knight has started unloading, so that has worked.
No, I got it, but I got it.
Yeah. Cool.
What
Yeah.
number's the taxi?
5. No, 3.
1. Bear in mind, those are debug keys. That you're supposed to fly back to a hangar, get out your ship, and then either buy a new ship from a used ship salesman or get into something you own. Obviously, you're not just supposed to just jam a number key and hope that it changes.
No, I figured that was probably temporary.
That does look cool.
So is there another taxi stand or just one?
No, there's 4. Are there any in front of you? Yes, there is. In fact, we can go on a journey there together. Oh.
It's the one I just came from, isn't it?
Okay, you've flown at a different end of the repair dock I thought you were flying out of.
No, I did.
There's one directly in front of you, just the other side of the Marauder.
No, I was just thinking that's a quite clever game mechanic. Your passenger wants to go. You click them up like in Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe, and then drop them off at the same place you let them on at.
No. The trick in Transport Tycoon was to pick them up and then take them 100 miles as quickly as possible and going, yeah, £83, mate. Well, no, I took you a long way and it was quick. I want a lot of money. I'm like, I only wanted to go to Eastbourne.
Shop.
What is a warp gate, by the way?
What is a warp
It's
gate?
a big thing that looks like
Warp gate Alpha.
Warp gate Alpha is
Really?
the big round blue warp gate. There's also a big
There's a
round.
dock on it.
There's a dock on the.
There's 2 docks on the side.
There's 2 docks. Yeah. They're on the.
Right.
If you're coming out of the warp gate, it's on the warp gate's left.
Okay.
So there is a warp gate you can't reach, so we don't worry about that one. But there is a round warp gate that's green and a round warp gate that's blue. So I have made it so you should hopefully be able
One
to.
that's cyan. Yeah. Is this the green one or the blue one?
I don't know what. Hold on, let me find where you are. 2 secs.
I'm not going to take the passenger. I'm going to take the warp gate.
That's not for you. You don't get to take the warp gate.
What if I tried anyway?
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean,
Not authorized.
just fly. You'll just fly into a big green thing that's lit up very greenly. I'm still impressed at the scale I've managed to get out of this. Like, Rob's ship is tiny compared to that warp gate.
That's not how it feels to me.
Really?
I mean, it just feels like it's the world that I'm maneuvering about. It doesn't make me feel tiny or that feel big. The same way, I guess, my town doesn't feel big.
Did you?
It just feels like normal for a town.
Did you watch SnowRunner when we did the racing or not?
I have done racing, but you mean last week?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so for the first time in SnowRunner, we got given a normal size vehicle, like a car, and then you go, oh my. So then you suddenly realize how big and small things are. So yeah, you're in a normal size spaceship, but I mean, have you actually tried getting. See, in front of you coming up is a big yellow cargo ship.
So
Maybe.
I'm the troll here.
Can you see it? Can you fly? Can you sort of buzz it? So like, well, partly so I can get a cool shot, and partly so hopefully the sensor scale comes through at least a bit. Can you just press 2 twice, Rob, to flash your headlights on so I can work out which ship you are?
Number pad or not?
No, not number pad. Toggle number 2. Just keep flicking it till I can see you. That one near the warp gate. No one is flashing their lights. Oh.
This is activating the computer.
Yeah, that also turns the lights on. Right, I've lost you totally. They're flying towards the big cargo ship, though. The big yellow one.
Flying over it any second now.
Okay, that's you then. When you say over, how did you hit it? Again, it's like that bit in Hot Fuzz where they just drive into a
Hit
tree.
anything.
So I
Just glided right over it.
don't know which one of my actions, but I'm back at 30% fuel.
Yeah.
So something updated the HUD. Probably loading a passenger or
It'll
something.
be loading a passenger. Oh, is that you, Shark, or doing a cool drift?
I
Oh.
don't see 2 extra cargo things on top of the flat.
No.
things.
So, do you see this cluster of slightly spinning objects here? Very gently spinning, yeah? These are very gently spinning, yeah? Now do you see this one that's very much not gently spinning? That's one of those. This is a physics synchronized... No, it's a physics unsynchronized object that's just bonked into... Hold on, let me try... Where are you trying to take me? Yeah, it's trying to go down there somewhere. Where are you trying to get to, you stupid? Oh, it does actually think that's where it wants to be.
This is a really daft question.
Good.
Is the player or the in-game character meant to have sort of grown up in this environment, this area, so would know that the names and some of the sort of the things that are in this area by name?
Not necessarily, because
Daddy worked at the mining colony, and Mummy worked at the Big D's hotel, or whatever it was.
Oh, Mummy worked at the whorehouse. Wow. Wow. No, not necessarily, because the story could be you are a third generation person who lives in this colony, or of course you've just been posted here from Orion or something and you don't know anything. So whichever fits the story is perfectly fine. But yeah, some positive from the chat. If this is an MMO, I'll make loads of money. I mean, it's basically an MMO. I just need a big enough computer to run it on.
It's just a rather large online role-playing game.
Well, the definition of MMO is very vague.
Really?
Well, what's an MMO?
Massive is fairly significant.
Yeah,
Well, the letters MMO stand for massively multiplayer
Right.
online game, don't
right. So if I have 10 people, is that an MMO?
they? No.
How about 11?
Still no.
12?
No,
What,
No.
what number becomes massively multiplayer?
1,000.
1,000.
32. 32.
32. Well, so Battlefield's an MMO. Oh, Rob, don't.
Yes.
Rob, you're about to reverse into. Oh, that was close. I mean, I'd probably say 100, just for sake of.
Well,
People aren't all on the same server typically, are
like
they?
Eve
No,
or World of Warcraft.
I mean, Warcraft was only about 30,000 people per server, and that's about as big as it's ever got. I don't know what Eve barfs at. It's not very many, is it? It's only a few hundred per system. I mean,
No, Eve usually baths a couple of thousand.
per system.
They all
Okay.
play together.
No, all in one system, yeah.
Yeah.
Because even then, the brain in the box determines that if there are lots of people within the same, I don't know what they call it now, but
Box.
within the same, that's what they called it. Stellar, what do you call it?
System is fine.
Yeah, well, it's not system because the system's like a room. Whereas if it knew that there were lots of people all planning to sort of come together, and it saw people coming down the pipe towards these systems, then not just your room, but the rooms surrounding that room would then get time dilation, and that would sort of spiral out as it got worse and worse in the middle.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So when you say time dilation, what you mean is they've made an in-game term for the server running slowly.
Yes.
Well, yes, because it's got so much work to do. It's sort
only
of
controlled so that you don't think, well, some parts of the game are running fast, everything is slowed down.
yeah.
That's amazing. Shall we see how many ships I can put in the game before it breaks?
Yeah, go for it.
How much RAM are you using at the moment
Um,
on the server?
8 gigs, but most of that will be textures.
Huh.
Brightest as high as 8 gigs. I could just press a button and spawn more ships.
Is repair dot gamma just the repair dot?
It is. I might have another repair. So I can move
Whatever
these.
this mining processor is, I'm still struggling to find it.
Which one?
Mining processor Delta.
It is.
It's not Voron ring, is it?
It's
The other one?
literally straight in front of you. Literally straight in
Oh,
front of you.
that's Voron.
No,
Okay.
it's not the ring. That's not in front of you. That's to the left. So when I said it's straight in front of you, what you did then was turn about 15 degrees to your left and go, ah ha ha. Turn about 15 degrees to your right. 45 now. And yeah, back in front of you, back now.
Dolco Refinery.
Oh, has it got the wrong name? Troloco. Oh, is it called? Oh yeah, I should probably name that. Thank you. All these names are nicked out of Star Trek, by the way. I hope you all, or they're names of artists.
What's
Yeah.
Troloco?
I can't remember.
Warp gate
That's
taxi,
not
top
used.
drop off.
Troloco, what? I have no idea.
What's Voron?
Voron is the name of a new 3D printer that's coming out that's really fast.
So which of these names are next from Star Trek?
Most of the spaceships. Narada, Raven, Discovery,
Discovery. That's
Intrepid. That is Discovery.
It's just me. Am I just the only person allowed to clip through buildings?
I haven't done. I mean, collision is unfortunately a long-term and ongoing thing. Because this game has quite annoying collision, unfortunately, just because of the way it's the way it is.
What you're saying is there's a shortcut through every building if you know exactly which direction to go in.
No, I mean that one's. Oh, in fact, have you got the stream up, Max?
Have I? No, I haven't.
Oh, no, on Discord.
No.
Oh, so yeah, there's a hole in the middle of that space station. That's not quite the same. Fix the hole in Troloco. I've just missed it. So yeah, I've done all the detailed bits, but there's just a whacking great hole in the middle that you managed to find. Well done.
All right, my day's finished.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you for supplying some network load and feedback.
Thank you for having me here.
Always. I say I want to try and get some. I want to sort of attack the things that come up from each of these streams and continue to sort of grab little bits of footage and put together, and hopefully an appealing trailer I'm going to do some more work on the physics push as well. Ironite has left, data saved. Okay, excellent. Because I think that could be quite fun, but it might not be. And where are we going on the suggestion then of when you run out of fuel, a ship will have to refuel you? Whether or not that's another player, you and another ship, or an AI.
Maybe some sort of AI can immediately just spawn in and refuel you for a lot of money or even debt.
Yes, I mean, debt is probably something I will just implement, so you'll go into debt to begin with, and then that will disappear as you get better ships later on. Man, are you in the docking?
Like real life.
Bye-bye.
Dead by
Bye-bye.
default.
Are you actually docking, by the way, Rob?
What?
You're actually docking?
Yes.
You're not very close to the
Yeah.
dock.
Arr.
Probably fix
Well,
that.
I can't really see where I am.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. That's my collision box is like, yep. And I'm like, yeah. However, are we still? So should I just allow you to go into debt, on the basis that as you get better, as you play it, your ship gets more efficient because you get better. Hopefully, the player also stops, redlining it everywhere.
Booting around.
Unlikely.
You learn not to, because the more you. So Rob, if you look down, how's your ship?
Do you mean how is my ship?
How's your ship's damage? How's your hull integrity?
Oh yeah, a bit fucked.
Okay, how's your main thruster?
Mostly okay.
Mostly okay. Okay, I might want to tweak that. Okay, and anything else?
Main computer.
Okay.
Does that mean I got a virus?
No, the main computer just wears out when you use it. So you can save the main computer by turning the computer off, but then of course you don't get any
HUD.
don't get any HUD. Which I quite like as a payback, but it's cheaper to run your ship. But yeah, your main thruster gets used up through usage and extended usage. So coasting doesn't damage your main thruster. I think the HUD's fine, Max. What you're talking about?
I'm going to leave the HUD off.
No, Rob's HUD is Max's right screen is just drawn off onto the floor. That's mostly debug. So the left screen should be pretty much good information now. Most of the time, that should hopefully give you what you need to know when you need to know it. If it doesn't, let me know. That's one I will have to continually address, because that is important to note that it is correct.
We flagged up there's a problem with the fuel unloading. Yeah, that's what, I think there was what was it? There was a couple of times where it didn't show you something you wanted to see, but it was only temporarily.
So when you're loading and unloading, it does. So when you're loading and unloading, it doesn't show you how much money you've got, which is a bit silly.
Yeah.
And when you are refueling, I think it doesn't say anything either. But I will address those, because that's definitely an issue. Incidentally, Rob, did you try it in VR?
No.
Should work. Literally. I don't know.
That's fine.
You might not have to, but probably you will. I'll be quite impressed. But it should all work in VR. I obviously recommend being a bit more cautious with your flying.
Just unpacked my VR stuff, and actually it's not in that box, so let's pack everything back up again.
If there's going to be debt, then what about the financially irresponsible players?
Well, you'll never be able to buy a better ship. So debt would be accrued for moment-to-moment stuff, but not for... Wait, where's Rob heading off to? Where's he going? Oh, that's Max.
Going anywhere.
No, it's Max. Max.
Headset.
Oh man, that looks cool. As I said, this is one thing that does fill me with some confidence for this. I am continuously going, oh, that looks cool. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, those are cool. Like, lots of cool stuff happens. I like the idea of the repulsors and docking, because that should be quite funny. When you're actually trying to achieve something and somebody keeps ballsing it up. Like, that should be, I hope that's funny.
Hilarious.
But it should be, though, shouldn't it? Like, at the same time, SnowRunner is at its most funny when people are being helpful, well-meaning, but incompetent. Or Magicka, that's always my go-to example for a game where you're trying to be helpful, but actually you just killed everyone. I did put a map, by the way, of the game into the channel. Would you like me to annotate it? Would that help?
It hasn't got a key on it of some sort.
That's what annotation is, yes. Map. Hashtag.
Obviously. Oh.
How do I search map? Well, I don't even need a map, do I? Don't even. Oh, the names are mostly working, but at one point we did have people called unknown, and I don't know why. Right. So, what is in the game? We have 4, 8, Alpha.
This container is doing something really weird.
Yes. So it looks like
Like it hit an asteroid and then bounced off it, but it didn't. It went towards the asteroid.
Yeah.
Like it was attracted by gravity or something.
It does look like something is gaining more and more and more velocity. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but actually, if you look at the stream here outside the hangar, there are 5 network synced objects, and those are the only important ones.
Right.
So these here by the hangar. So those 5 objects there, which I should probably turn on outlining. Yeah, those 5 objects there, they are network synced. They will be in the same place for everyone. Where, like, if you went there now, those will have 3 in a row and 2 there like that. All the other objects, I don't know, because you've got these ones. Actually, let me just highlight them. Yeah, you can see them all over.
The VR headset won't turn on for some reason.
Have you given it power?
Yes, I've given it power.
Oh, okay. I'm out of options.
And now my computer's just running really slowly, and the game has dropped its quality significantly, so I can barely see anything.
Well, better than low frame rate?
Is it?
Yes, it definitely is.
What about if it looks awful and it has a low frame rate?
Then you have a more serious issue.
You don't belong to the glorious PC Master Race.
I mean, certainly in VR, frame rate is far more important than anything else. Is it Lunar Limos? What's this one here? Is this Stellar Taxis? I think.
Maybe it's because I'm streaming multiple things, because Discord is using 30% of my GPU and 20% of my CPU, which is more than this game.
Possibly. I mean, if you plugged in your VR headset, it may be trying to do something.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Glamorous life of an indie developer. Okay, so let's call this Prestige Garage. just got the. Oh, I got the noise that you get when something's gone really bad. The blung noise. Have I forgotten anything? Oh, got the mining processors actually. What's what?
Let me share my screen.
I should probably also point out there is an awful lot of content. Like there is so much that in this world. It's a huge world. So I'm getting there with stuff, but there is some bits are much nicer and more detailed than others. What are you trying to show me? What's what? The parking brake.
The news thing.
Oh, that is the Unity rendering debugger that apparently is on a shortcut key. What key
is on the parking brake key?
Oh, H.
No, on the stick.
Well, why has no one else seen that? I didn't see that. How odd.
And shoulder buttons do it.
I'm assuming you've pressed something to make that happen. I don't know what it is.
That must be true, right?
But like you've pressed something to put it into a mode to make it do that. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Don't know why graphics quality has dropped so much.
It might be because you've enabled the render debugger.
Oh god.
Okay, I'm going to pop the picture. Let me pop that picture into AstroTrucks. Does that help? I'll pin it as well. So that's all of the things that are currently that do anything, and anything that's not labelled is just pure fluff.
Actually, Phil, make that a loading screen.
What loading screen? What loading?
Have a loading screen and make that it.
Have what? Why would I have a loading screen? There's no loading screen in this game. You're weird.
Well, put it somewhere while I'm waiting to connect or something, which is also pretty instant.
Okay. Yeah. So let me grab the video. I did put. I have done a prototype of this. So the idea will be that you'll also be able to play the game probably in VR. I'll pop it in AstroTrucks channel. Probably in VR from a viewpoint that looks like that. And so you will be able to see all the ships and direct them. So that's one of the goals. And you'll also be able to do stuff like open up the airlocks in advance. Rob, stop flying into the thing that's marked as red.
Is it red? It's white and blue.
White and blue?
Yeah.
You know, I can see your screen. I know that's literally a lie.
Oh, it's not a lie. After I went through the white and blue thing, there was a red haze. Look.
Red. Okay, pink and blue.
Around the edges.
Wait, what colour was that dress?
I don't familiarise myself with dresses.
Change Troloco. Bad doc to be. Are you empty, Rob, right now?
No, 72% allegedly.
Of cargo. Can you
of cargo.
Can you take a 90-degree right and head the other side of those asteroids? Have you currently noticed any difference in your ship's handling when you were full versus empty?
I haven't noticed anything, but then I don't really understand how the ship handles anyway.
Gotcha. I mean that's another question. Should the game have a learning curve?
I'm going to say yes, it has a learning curve. it's mostly like a cliff face.
It's not that
Because finding your way around is challenging, and maybe a few simple, few starters to like. Here is a starting mission to do, because at the moment you just spawn.
But bear in mind that
randomly.
what you're talking about there is 6 months down the line. Like
Okay.
onboarding, that's way away. Onboarding's very important, but implementing onboarding before I necessarily know exactly what the game loop should be is
what you're onboarding people into.
yeah. And take a like 15 degrees to your right. Shalka, did I fix the strafing bug, by the way? Is that good now?
Now one can strafe, but it didn't feel like there would be a limit. It felt like limitless.
Well, stop and then strafe sideways and tell me how fast you go. That sounds another 45 degrees to your right, Rob. And you should hopefully see the Stellar taxis as marked on the map pop up. Yeah, I do need to fix that. It will pop up soon. It's blue and yellow. Yeah, directly in front of you. Perfect. Rob, try pressing Shift F1 to go into low detail mode, which will free up a bit of resources to give to resolution. Slightly better. And if you look down, what are you currently running at? And look to your right a bit with the mouse if you can. 35. Oh dear. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll make those signs work differently and actually give an arrow. So you're flying to the right of the Stellar Cab sign, looking for a smaller Stellar Cab sign. So to give you an idea of scale, your ship's 4 or 5 meters long. That Stellar Cab sign is 115 meters across.
Yeah. There's nothing that I actually understand scale.
Yeah, which is
on here.
Yeah, which is why I said try it in VR, because then you absolutely understand scale. Going, holy shit, that's enormous. So you're looking for something that's, well, it'll be behind you in a moment, but
I can see it.
Looks like a dock. Yeah, it should look like a dock.
Well, I can see the sign. I haven't seen the dog yet.
Unfortunately, I also have the thing that I have to put the dock facing away from the rest of the universe, so I don't render what's inside it until you are right, basically there. That's just a fundamental flaw with, just the way computer games work. Not much you can do about that.
I was confused, and the limit is there. It doesn't feel restricting, so.
What, 8 meters? 8 meters per second?
Yeah, if I go forward at 30 and try to go sideways, I stop at somewhere around 32 or 34. Seems like correct.
Yeah, that seems about right. Oh, that's cool. Good dock, Rob. If you go very slowly now, very slowly, the lights, you should see the lights change as the... Oh, you go a little bit further forward. The dock hasn't started to close yet. Maybe I need to move this whole thing back a bunch.
I do think that there are very big objects here, and the medium object size population is kind of lacking. Making it kind of feel on average that the huge is like the medium size.
Wow, you really have broken your game, haven't you, Rob? I don't know why.
Absolutely.
I'll put a cool video of you docking in. So when you say medium-sized stuff, like what? Again, you have a nice picture of the whole level. You can always go like that or like this.
So, lesson learned.
Yeah. Why have I come back and your ship's upside down? There's bits everywhere.
Because the door doesn't open fast enough.
No, that's not. Excuse me, sir. I tried to park in your garage. No, I think I want to move the whole loading dock back a little bit. I haven't given quite enough room. It definitely works because I've done it, but I was much more cautious than you.
Well, I was taking the piss on the way out.
But what does happen, and you can't quite see it the way you did it, is as the door shuts, obviously it casts a shadow across the whole dock, and it looks really cool. But unfortunately, you were so far into it you couldn't see it. So I'm probably going to shove all of that another 10 meters this way. But yeah, I know what you mean about it being very difficult to have a sense of scale for things, because a lot of the stuff in this game is huge, but you don't get that close to it. You think something is small, and then you get a bit closer to it and you go, oh, it's still a long way, it's still a long way, it's still a long way, bang! Whoops. But I put a nice video up of you docking. Well, that's been 2 hours, so I will call it there. So thank you so much, as ever. We have had, thankfully, a bit more interest in the chat as well for what's going on. I will try and fix some of the niggles that have come out, but I will be away for the next 2 evenings, so I will be back on Friday. And I will continue to work on this, because this is now destined to be shipped, whether or not it's a good game or a bad game or a big game or a small game. I'm going to ship it, and that will hopefully make more money than it's cost me in assets and time. But I think I've got a pretty good handle on Unity's URP system. Just very quickly there, from each of you, what is your number one thing I should fix, just in case it's not on the Trello? You only get to pick one. What's the most important thing to fix? Or add?
Something to do with figuring out how I'm actually maneuvering. Because when I started pressing buttons, it's not immediately obvious how fast I'm going, because I don't have a sense of scale.
Okay, on the middle of your screen, if you notice the 2 arrows showing your relative heading and velocity.
I've noticed them, but they're really hard to pick out because they're kind of reddy blue on a reddy blue thing. Maybe if they were a bit more distinct.
Okay.
And in the center of the screen instead of amongst those other things.
It does help in VR, which is something I will probably end up saying a lot. In VR, you really get to spot them much easier.
I would say take out a lot of the pretty HUD art and replace it with only essential shit. Don't use numbers, use bar charts or something.
Well, how am I supposed to use a bar chart for your speed?
Well, my top speed is 30, so call that 100%. And okay,
well, it's not.
Okay, my taxi's optimal speed, or kind of maximum sustainable speed without cruising speed, is 30. So have a progress bar that goes up to 45 with a line in it at 30. And then when I'm doing 30, have an axis that goes up to 45 with a line at 30 saying 100%.
Would you ever want that in your car?
Firstly, this isn't my car, and secondly, I'm describing other games that I've played which were quite useful, like Free Space.
Yeah, the thing is, it's...
Free Space HUD was all practical.
So part of the issue, I guess, is that you are going to be upgrading your spaceship, and if you upgrade your spaceship to go 10% faster, your speed will still go up to 100%, and that would be kind of rubbish.
Okay, don't say 100%. Say 70. Say 80.
Well, but it does say your speed. Just
okay, but have the bar so that I know if my cruising speed. Tell me it's going from 0 to cruising speed. We'll quote the cruising speed in numbers, and then I know that I'm at least halfway there.
I see what you mean.
Ultimately, numbers are basically arbitrary. When I'm driving along the road, I only check the speed limit numbers when I want to make sure I'm not speeding. Most of the time, I judge it by how fast I go past stuff. And with the scale issues that we've got about knowing how big stuff is, that's pretty hard.
Yes.
So it's not like driving a real car.
That's why I have... let me just drive forward a second here. That's why I have just clicked the perspective button. That's why there's so much debris around the level, because this is one of the early complaints from Schalke, which was it's really not very obvious how fast you're going.
Yeah, again, Free Space has dust everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a space game that I've played that's newer than Free Space, but I'm thinking of Free Space.
Yeah, I mean, this is dust everywhere. I mean, it's plastered in the stuff. That's
No, the dust is really useful.
Yeah.
But I don't know how fast that is. All I know is it's faster or slower or what direction I'm going in.
Would have like medium. Now it's like same density all over. Like bigger chunks, then you would shift your frame velocity.
No, because if you have a denser chunk, I guarantee you'll be like, why am I suddenly going faster? That's what will happen if you have a denser chunks. That's not a good idea.
I mean, like medium chunks and small chunks in the same space, rather than.
I already have.
Unless you're having a specific nebula or gas cloud bit, which is designed to fuck with you, and it's obvious you're being fucked with.
Yes, I was considering having some of the obvious routes having like thick density stuff in that would hurt your ship. It's a kind of a risk reward sort of thing. But yeah, so if I let me turn the background off. Oh, I'm sorry. I am still sharing my screen. Yeah. So yeah, if you look at the debris, and you see the world is absolutely plastered in debris, so you've always got stuff to gauge speed from. The problem is that sometimes I've just scaled up. If I zoom in on this taxi dock specifically, you've got a very big. Yeah, you can see there. You've got big ones, and then you've got little ones where I'm expecting you to fly to give you a good indication. If you're coming in the right direction, you're going too fast and should probably slow down. To the point where this place needs a serious cleanup.
That debris is not that useful if you are going a bit faster. It swooshes by too fast, you're able to read it.
Yeah, but if you're to the point where you're going, this stuff is swishing so fast, I don't know how fast I'm going. Maybe you shouldn't be thinking about docking maneuvers next. Your next step to be.
I'm probably not thinking about docking maneuvers because I don't know how far away I am from the vehicle.
It does give you a 10-second warning on any impacts, brackets estimated.
I would just say reduce the amount of text that's on the screen, because sifting through text to figure out where stuff is
that's why the middle of your screen is vital, important stuff. Bottom middle, left hand side.
50% of my screen is spaceship, though. And some of the best ships to fly in Star Citizen, for example, are almost entirely glass cockpits.
Right, but isn't that a much simpler game? Like, I'm sure it looks pretty, but we're back down to I want to make the game look really, really minimal and polished, and then you go, how do I see how much health I've got? Like Dark's Dead Space.
It has clear. Well, it has not always clear. Some ships have kind of translucent glass screens on them, but they're not. They're overly complicated because there are so many things you can do with it. But the important stuff, like how your weapons are overheating and stuff like that, is right on the screen.
So
the same with my favorite WoW mod was Arcade, because it puts mana and health and cooldowns right in the middle of your face.
Yeah,
and those are the most important things.
Exactly, that's exactly what I've done here. You've got fuel, battery, low power, braking. Then you've got your capacitor and your battery there. Then you've got your loading indicator. These are all right in front of you.
So braking isn't like a key thing.
It is. No, it is. No, wait. Handbraking is important because if it's on and you're trying to fly, there's a massive handbrake symbol right in front of your face in case, so you don't go, why am my ship not going fast?
That one I'll give you, but look in the middle of the screen. You've got these kind of two pictures above where it says speed. That entire panel there is all flat.
Yeah, it is. But I'm hoping all of that is fluff. But I'm hoping by the time you play it for 10 minutes, you've worked out not to look at that. That is reserved space for future stuff. This is just what the asset pack came with, weapons and scraps. That's not anything.
I mean, yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah, but that will be replaced with stuff. Your bottom middle
so
screen.
my cargo stuff on the left-hand screen.
Yeah,
firstly,
left.
it's on the bottom left screen. It says you are loading cargo. You have 18 fish. Is this supposed to be a display that tells me my status, or is it a novel?
It just tells you anything you need to know about cargo. Hold on, let me
Okay, a nice spreadsheet with a list of this is how many of this item I've got, and this is where this item's destination is. Be quite nice.
Well, that's what it says.
The health bars on the what doesn't it says the dock wants 32 mice.
No. That's because I'm not running. Hold on a sec. Let me actually run the game. That's because I'm just.
There are about 5 lines of text there, and having played for 2 hours, I don't know which line is significant.
If you want to know about cargo, you look in that box. If you don't want to know about cargo, you don't look in that box. That's the
I understand that.
Yeah,
but there's still a lot of stuff in that box when actually I just want to know where my next destination is.
Right. Well, it tells you that, and not much else. It tells you what I felt is important. I'm going to just get back into the game so I can. Come on, game. Chop. It's a UI.
My understanding that panel is not supposed to be read fast.
No, I know what UI is, and game UI and mobile application UI and web UI do share some things in common, such as wanting to put the most important thing in front of people's face.
Yes.
And presenting it in a nice enough way that they feel it's useful, but not.
Yeah, I'm getting
overloading them
intrusively.
Yeah, the problem is what you're trying to do is something that I find Fortschrift players trying to do. They want lots of information and not much information. They want the game to somehow know what information they need, and that's really tricky. So right now, the cargo. Just focus on the cargo. This is good. So, can you read that okay on the stream or not?
Capacity 0 of something.
The top line.
Cargo empty.
The top line is debug. So it says it says capacity 0 out of 200. So it tells you your.
Give me a progress bar for that, please, so that I can see at a glance.
Okay,
so I don't have to read the numbers.
Okay, all right. There's a progress bar. How much capacity has your ship got?
Put 0 on the left and 200 on the right, and tell me how much of the way through I am of it. Also,
so hold on. So you want 0 out of 200 and a progress bar?
Yes. 0 on the left.
That's more information to take in. Wait, 0? Wait, what happens to your cargo capacity is 20,000 or 200,000?
Well, if the progress bar goes half the way across, then I know approximately where I am.
I'm a little bit confused. So you want to get rid of the word that says capacity?
It's all text.
Yeah.
I want something visual to help me understand it rather than a data sheet.
Right, yeah, okay. So when I load, I do get a progress bar, but why would I want a progress bar at this point? Well, I mean, right now, I do have redundancy. It says capacity 0 out of 200 and cargo empty because that's redundant. But I do want to know what my capacity is. If someone says, hey, I've just destroyed an asteroid, there's 50,000 kilos of rubble, you can't go, my ship's at 50%. You do need to know what the capacity of your ship is.
I understand that.
Yeah. So.
But you seem to be explaining that the only solution to that is having just text panels.
Yeah. Okay. But.
And I'm saying that maybe we have a grid which aligns it, which means that I can, find out what text I want to do. Because at the moment, with it all being text lined up, then.
But yeah, I can't.
If it's aligned to columns, I can look in the third column
so
down,
what you're suggesting is 0 dash and then 200 like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that what you're suggesting, or am I misunderstanding? Instead of cargo.
Pretty much something like that. Yes. Because 2 important things. Firstly, 0 on the left is probably redundant. 2,000 on the right is useful because it tells me my maximum, and then the XXXX -- is useful because it tells me I'm about 40% full. maybe have 40% on the left or something, or
No, because I have to show you have to know the capacity of your ship. That's really important.
okay, yeah, fine.
I mean, I should probably have actually counted these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. There's 10. Just to make my life easy.
Maybe the last X could be how much you are filled.
But
What?
that would be slightly trickier because
Like
a visual thing is really
XX
useful.
XX100
What?
showing 100 out of 200.
XX100.
I think the key principle is that I want to know exactly where to look to find a specific piece of information.
Yeah.
If the text is free flowing and wrapping, like passengers is a long word or is a short word, and it's not column aligned, then the number of kilograms of ore and the number of kilograms of passengers is in a different place. I'm not going to figure out which row I'm looking at and scan across. I can't just go for a glance and scan down the like weight column, for example. That's why spreadsheets are all column based, right? I want a spreadsheet.
Well, yeah, but we've
Give
got
me a spreadsheet.
right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Progress
Okay,
bar
wait,
I'm talking about is almost secondary.
Hold on. Wait, column 1, column 2, column 3.
No,
column
that's not
column
useful.
5. You've got 6 screens that show unique information.
But they don't show unique information. They show lots of pieces of information. Screen 2 shows me my level, my XP, how much XP I've got, how much passive I've got.
Hold on. Screen 2 shows you contextual, useful information for what you're doing. At the moment, I'm bibbling around. This is just fun numbers. It's just bibbly fun. If I'm doing something, which I'll do in a minute, I'll fly in. That will tell you information about what you're doing.
Okay, so the fuel reserves is the only one I actually keep a track of because it's always in a place. Right? Because it's always in the bottom corner. Scanning down to find total flights, total flight time, and tracking down which one I've got. It's hard. Do you not get that it's hard to scan through these? I've got to line each line until I find the one that I want. I can't just glance and find it.
Right, but what you're suggesting is get rid of all the information. Great. Now tell me how.
No, I'm not.
Well, you are, because I mean the other solution is to have this screen have 10 modes, and you've got a toggle going next.
That's not remotely what I'm saying.
Well, you are, because where would I supply the information to the player telling you that you're going to level up in 2000 XP? That's something I want on screen.
Okay, so where does Warcraft show this?
In a bar at the bottom.
In a bar at the bottom, which is always in the same place. Yeah, which is. Yes. Shows me visually how much progress I've got and shows me numerically.
Right, but I don't really think a bar in this case necessarily is a solution. But my point is, you've got lots of stats. I have lots of stats to show the person. Some are useful. This one is just supposed to be the equivalent of your odometer. This is just glancing down at your normal cluster of stuff on your car that shows.
The difference between XP and my odometer is that I don't get ranked up every time I get 100,000 XP.
But
it's also fuel reserves. My fuel car, no, not my battery. My new car doesn't. My old car always had a 4 or 5 point.
Yes. Here's your fuel gauge. Fuel gauge.
Progress bar.
Yeah, your fuel gauge is there.
The car doesn't say odometer beside the odometer, does it? It just has a number. Just has a number that tops up. You know.
Which is the fuel gauge? The green one or the orange one?
Can't remember.
That's great.
Bear in mind, my goal at this point is to have given the information to the player, not to have paid an artist to have done anything. The information is there. If your feedback is, I need to know what the fuck is going on, that's good. But mostly I've been trying to make sure that the UI works rather than, and what is there is there. So I can say, look at the green one. Yeah, so the fuel bar is on the right, which I should have known because that's where the fuel gauge is. That's where the fuel icon.
The empty fuel icon. Anyway, I'm.
No, the empty fuel icon is on the
right.
right.
This is not the moment to critique the specific layout of this. Why were we talking about HUD layouts?
Because it is important, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Why is the low fuel warning light not on? Oh, that's the audio. So, more importantly, why is it green? And when the fuel
Also,
bar is orange.
There is loads of text,
There is
and
loads of
there's no
text.
way to draw my attention to what's important. And I would say, when I'm low on fuel, that's one of the most important things, right?
It was quite a big icon, and I was a bit surprised none of you spotted
There are
it.
loads of icons, especially all the ones that aren't actually important in doing
Right,
anything
but-
because they're part of the asset pack.
Again, very important to note, there is everything in the ship and then everything directly in front of you. And it appears, supposed to appear directly in front of you, and it isn't because I don't know why.
There was also loads of stuff that I'm looking around to try and see.
No one? Yeah. Well, flying a ship's difficult. For some reason, I don't seem to be able to turn on the icon, but it's a big orange icon, which is stupid because the capacitor is... I don't know, let me make a note on this one. HUD.
Anyway,
capacitor
on that note,
to sign
I'm
on.
going to head off.
Aww.
It was good fun.
Well, we should do this again because, unlike most people's feedback is, I hate the UI, it's shit. And I don't necessarily agree with you, but at least you're giving useful and constructive feedback from which stuff will come. And that's good. One of the issues I've got is what I don't want is just pages and pages and pages of UI that you just go through with loads of stats on. The Live for Speed server we played is just replete with that. It's just, where is this menu? Contextual UI is obviously tricky again.
No, and Star Citizen has the issue that it has a number of things, number of panels, and you have to choose which panels you want based on the mode you're playing in, which is usually okay.
What's wrong with nicking the existing paradigms for fuel and for speed? From cars, I mean.
I have, but it just some reason it wasn't displaying. Let me I can do it when it's not playing, but for some reason it wasn't
existing
showing.
paradigms for speed are a dial, although in our car it's a number.
Motorbikes generally quite often have displays, but that's the icon that I'm quite surprised you all completely missed.
Okay, what's the orange icon? You know, I've got a low battery icon, a fuel icon. I've got the battery thing on the right, kind of on the cockpit itself, not on the screen.
Yeah, anything on the cockpit up here is what I would consider for you to be important.
Okay.
For some reason, that's important.
Okay.
But I will
Those
change
aren't the things that actually managed it.
Yeah,
The power thing, yes. The parking thing, yes, because mostly they fuck off when you don't need them, so they're fine.
Yep.
But the two orange and green bars, don't know.
Well,
headlights,
hopefully,
I can't even see if my headlights are on, so that's not relevant. I don't know what ESP and TC are, so they're not relevant.
Really?
What's
Do you not have a car? Electronic stability protection, traction control.
Traction control. Does your car have a sign saying traction control?
Yep.
Did I not pay enough to get the sign that says traction control?
Turn your traction control off and the light will light up. That lights up when you've got that turned off.
I don't have that.
Mine lights up when you go skidding around corners.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm off.
Yeah,
so,
you do. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I will see you. I'll see you Friday at the earliest.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Just for the stream. So the ESP, I forgot which way around they are. I should know. So traction control is Aeroflight and ESP is gyro steering, I think, or the other way around. One of those two. So they light up when you've, like in a real car, when you've disabled an important feature.
Yeah.
It lights up saying you have disabled that. So
you've turned this off, are you sure? Yeah,
yes.
What's this light mean?
So for everything up the top, I have tried to copy car paradigms where possible, which is a headlight icon, traction control, fuel gauge, those sort of things. It's more difficult with the more spaceshipy bits. In reality, you shouldn't have a little screen telling you what's in your cargo bay. What I'd like and would be cool is when you dock, you get a little clipboard with it written on. You have to grab it and look at it in VR. Sadly, VR is not mainstream enough for me to consider a VR only game. I'd love that, but totally not there yet. But that would be cool. But in reality, you don't just you get out the ship and help them in, and you don't go, Does anyone remember how many passengers I've got in my back of my ship? I can go. I can try the capacity as a fill bar. I'm not actually sure that helps anything.
I mean, essentially, it's 2 slots, isn't it?
Well, it is on this ship, but
Slot 1, slot 2.
yeah, but other ships will have much bigger cargo. You know, thousands of.
Yeah, but are they based on sort of, like chunks? So seven numbers have you have 2 chunks, and they are both filled with chunks of people. Whatever.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, in this one, you've got 8 slots. So in theory, you could take 8 people who only weigh 25 kilos each. Very emaciated people. But yeah, one of the issues is some of the names of stuff. I don't think Rob has necessarily twigged that. Like some of the names of stuff is wrong. So like Big D's halfway in, it's a very long name, or mining ring Voron drop off. I need to limit the length of the names so they always fit in that cargo thing. I have also considered having HUD that just cycles round, showing you different things every 10 seconds or so. That's cool. It's cool for showing you information, but it's not cool if you go, how long do I XP? How long do I level?
I do think that the pro-grade information is a UI element that eventually needs to be quite high quality.
I never use it. I literally never use that. I do everything by eye, as you can see. No problems. Bear in mind, I've also put 200 hours into flying in this game. Yeah, the pro grade I should better Nick Kerbel's one. So there you go. You get a nice loading indicator there, loading percentage. So in this case, in 3 places on the screen, it's showing you loading with a circle, a bar filling up, and a number filling up. But if I don't show the cargo value and the delivery bonus there, where do I show it? Those are cargo related things. But now I have the issue that now it's filled up the text quite a lot. I'm not sure what I can do about that. The top line can go, that's debug. But it's important to know the delivery bonus. Else, how do I display to the player that they have a bonus delivery that's shrinking? I guess the idea is, like a car, when you first get in a car, you're having to stare at all the things and work out, where's my odometer, where's my rev counter, what gear am I in? But when you've been driving a car for a year or 5 years or 10 years, those things become second nature. You know where to look. In the same way, I can look at your stream that you're streaming and go, well, you haven't got any money. My worry is I'm going to end up with either an awful lot of screens or some, again, I'm out of buttons, but some way you're toggling the screens between information, HUD, cargo, local traffic information, or whatever. That could be a bit rubbish. I had the issue, like with Fortcraft, I have a very complicated game with a lot of information to give to the player, and I need to work out a way to give it to the player in a elegant and intuitive and straightforward way. And that's quite a tricky thing to achieve.
Yes, because there's a lot of, it's very, very subjective as what you might think is clear. One person might say, well, that's not. Another person might say it is, and then, it's it's not as clear cut as how do you give me this? What number have I got in this thing?
Yeah, my goal is if you stop and look at. Bear in mind, you've also got a lot of time flying between A and B, and I feel you have a lot of time to look at the HUD because you are flying for 45 seconds between 2 destinations. You have time to go. Oh, cool! I'm about to level up. Oh, I've got 200 kilos of cargo in there. Or whatever.
Yes.
Fix the inside of this area. Remember, I haven't done any flying in any of the last 2 streams. It's been purely watching you guys derp or be glorious.
Gloriously derp.
Well, it's also interesting watching people doing it in ways I didn't expect. Like for me, I'm going towards this door at 7 meters per second. It hasn't started opening, so I've slowed down. There we go. Now it has dropped down to 2. rather than you go, I'm just going to see how close I can get to the door. But that sometimes, and I've learned this the hard way when I've done like Projector Games events, I found that the way I want people to play it is not the way they want to play it. So originally, Zombie City, you would have to hide from the zombies. So you could like run out, shoot a couple of zombies, then run back around the corner. And the zombies that didn't see you would move to where your gunshot was. So you could draw zombies to one place and you could lead them away. And you could do all these super clever stealth things. What do people do? They just shot the zombies as much. And in the end, the game evolved into this absolute unbelievable murder-thon, because that's what people wanted. So that's why I'd like to get this game out a bit and get more people playing it, in case what we actually want is a super duper arcadey game where you're flying in, screeching to a halt and slamming in loads of stuff, or everybody wants to fly it, say like Schalke with the 6-off mode. And I don't really know.
For UI Simulator Starter would be that there would be like tool at their, like now the labels are quite big, but would have like very many instruments, and you would know what they stand for by memory.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare this to a real spaceship, this is nothing. I've got I've seen what's on real spaceships. You know, older ones certainly. It's mind-boggling. Remember that bit from Gravity where she's just sat in front of all those dials everywhere? But I don't think I'm a million miles away, and I have only just started on the UI. Because obviously the point I didn't make, Rob, is that no one gives a shit about UI when it comes to screenshots or selling the game. They care about spaceships crashing and looking cool, and that. No one's going to go, oh, that screenshot, the UI is good. I won't. Yeah, the right hand screen though, that's just a mirror of the one at the top, and that's just world information going on, and that's mostly debug text, so I'm aware that the game's working. See, I just used the dust to estimate my speed.
The dust could also be drawn a little farther out.
Yes, hang on. Halt. Offloading. See, I now offload at 100.03% because of the amount of cargo that I've loaded and offloaded. So I gain stats. And that was the reason I started to do that, because the stats have been in place for a while, but you have no idea they're there. So you weren't aware that your character is getting better at loading and offloading cargo unless I tell you. And it's something that I like to call the Warcraft effect. You see something you want and you grind until you get it. You see someone in a cool mount. Oh my god, I want that mount. What do I do to get that mount? You know, I need 10 gold pieces. Whoa, what's a gold piece?
Okay.
I am happy with the way the airlocks work. I'm also at high detail. Oh, something very odd's going on. I have profile. It just keeps waiting for the GPU, and I don't know why. Might be because I'm doing the Discord thing. My cargo rate load is 10.04%. 10.05%. I'm worried when you get a ship that can do like 20,000 tons of cargo in one go, that might become a little bit exponential. I'll hand these in and then I'm gonna head off to bed. So I say I'm not around for a couple of nights. I will do some more work on this tomorrow though, before I head out. Someone to give me a quote on solar. Exciting is my life. I've also got cheat mode so I can turn on sports mode and not use up any fuel. So I can test. So I don't know, again, I haven't had much feedback on the difference between a full and an empty ship, but you can hammer the taxi around when it's empty quite fast now, and it's much less easy when the ship is full. To the point where I was wondering if I could make that even more different. So when you're empty, you can really like move it around like a speedboat, and when you're full, it's a bit more like a transit van. When it's empty, it's ever so nice. When it's full, it's not. Yeah, I've overcooked this. Like 100 meters per second. Brake. That's where you don't use. And today we have had the answer perhaps about what we do when you run out of fuel, but not when your ship breaks. So every system has the ability to just turn off. So every time you damage the system a little bit, it has the opportunity to switch it off for 10 seconds or whatever. And I haven't started to implement that yet. Where's the... Why does it say cargo moves 0.0 tons? Should say, that's not right. If I fly off, I can see that I have moved a total of 800 kilos of cargo. Oh, maybe I'm not rounding it right. Let's just do 2 more. I also find it heartening if Rob's biggest complaint is the in-game UI rather than the flight model or the graphics or anything, or the sound. Like that's, to my mind, that's pretty good. I think I'm getting quite good at this though. Not a useful skill. There won't be any esports in AstroTrucks. Be for the same place. Ah, look at that. I fly that way also to make sure I... Yeah, Malcolm never turned up by the way, so we couldn't actually boot up Astroneer at all. Let's see what's on Thursday. Not here anyway. Right, I'm going to hand this in and see if that bug fixes itself. Yeah, hopefully Sal got some good footage out of this trailer. I'm thankful that I'm constantly seeing bits. I go, "Ooh, that looks cool. Ooh, that looks cool." I don't think that happens very often in a lot of my games. It just stuff happens, but this seems to have visuals that continually inspire me to record a bit like No Man's Sky. Go, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe this would be called the Thinking Man's No Man's Sky. Yeah, I think it might be out of GPU RAM or something silly. Oh yeah, VRAM 80% or RAM 86%. My frame rate's like 100 and then suddenly drops to 5 just briefly. Yeah, I'll just make a note. space dust appear further? It also needs to be an actual little bit of space as currently it's a round blob. And I have to log on to Diablo tomorrow morning, so I get my daily reward. If you get 7 or 8, you get a legendary, I think.
Ooh.
I also got a an object that changes one of my skills. Like, it really changes my skill. One of the legendary procs. So that was quite good.
Wait. I got the Heliquary started up.
Yeah.
Crit chance plus 10%, challenge rift only.
Oh, you actually did a Heliquary?
Yes. I can upgrade it apparently, so.
Oh, right, yeah, but you have to. Oh, wait, I'm getting something else mixed up.
Which buffs my things. Cool.
There we go. Oh, yeah, cargo with 1.0 tons. Okay, so it's rounding it wrongly. But it's interesting that Eric immediately locked onto the multiplayer aspect with an economy, because that is the plan. The plan is that you are running your colony.
Yeah.
But there's nothing stopping me uploading our colony stats to a central server, so you can compare it off against other colonies.
It reminds me a little bit like Command and Conquer game that was first person.
Red Faction.
No.
The MMO economies, you like trade
No, it wasn't
food
MMO, but yeah.
across things. If you like compete to make the economy grow faster, that's a kind of different beast. It's not like one server is producing iron and one server is producing wool, and they would trade with each other.
No, that's way. I'm talking about leaderboards. I mean, I'm talking about your classic MMO. And by MMO, bear in mind, most MMOs are not like Warcraft anymore. Most MMOs are like Diablo or Clash of Clans. So it's more about a leaderboard of how much your colony has produced. Which might be interesting, might be something that a lot of people don't care about, but that would be something I wouldn't be too hard to implement, and that's obviously something that Eric immediately went, "Oh, has it got that?" I'm very happy. Oh, before I forget, let's just very quickly. Because you want it. While you've got the stream up, it's worth showing you the travel particles, though. So you just want them to appear further away rather than have more of them, is that? Oh. Space particles.
Further away.
They appear that far right now. Oh, where is my shape? There we go. You want to appear like that. Twice as far. And I guess you also want the density twice as much now. There you go.
Yes, I want more, but I don't know how much more.
Well, let's pick a number. We should also do this. We should also just do a session of just stuff that I can twiddle quickly, like changing UI. Not so much. There you go. This is more. It's 200 now. So this is the point where I'm running out of particles. Let me put that max. There you go. That's 200. Per meter. That's too many, isn't it?
But I'm also seeing artifacts and like strangely when it's not in my hands. I feel like I don't have a feeling whether it's a good or effect or a bad effect.
That's definitely too many. The problem with that is I'm hitting the limit of how many particles I can draw. This is now twice as far away as it was, and twice as many. Because I make it twice as far away, the chances are you'll just miss a whole bunch of them. I think if you go up or down, I don't think it's very big in that direction. Not too bad. Maybe it should also be that particles stop emitting above a certain speed. You just don't get them. Yeah, that's quite a bit denser than it was. Yeah, you're probably not seeing it very well on Discord though. I can certainly...
One of the things to do with the Helecra, you have to assemble a group of 8.
Yeah, good luck with that one. I did it. I was twigged through.
Yeah, I think they can be quite sparse, and I would be happy. But like how long a single individual will live, that's the thing that I value or get annoyed by easily.
Oh, so you're telling me that they're disappearing too soon? Because they spawn and then they just fade out.
I guess like they appear near when I would have wanted it to like have been generated earlier.
Okay, so in a sense, then, if I shrink the gizmos. So so what you're saying is then it should have spawned. Like I moved the whole thing a whole bunch away, so you can't get particles spawning near you anymore. You can only get particles some distance away.
No, that's actually bad. I thought they would not die. I want every particle to whoosh past me.
That's not happening. They last for 5 seconds. Currently, that's running 50 particles, so that's not bad. But if I move this box around, it starts to generate a lot more particles.
If you halve the amount, can you double the lifetime?
Yes. I mean, I can go higher, but I mean, I don't want to spend all my resources on this particle system. But yeah, now they last 10 seconds, not 5. What's that? We get up to 5,000. That's a lot. See what happens with those numbers. Yeah, I haven't touched this since almost day 1. But having played the game so much, I just don't really, some of the cues aren't quite so useful. So your issue was more or less the particles disappearing before they'd gone past you.
I'm a bit unsure, but I guess in the middle of the screen they appear. I guess I don't care so much about the sideways. I'm unsure.
Yeah, I mean that's possibly an issue right now. So if I just pause it a sec, let's look at what's going on with it.
I guess I said previously that I would care about the individual lifetime being long, but I guess I now think that it's about having them in various ranges. So having near and having far. And when the spawn area is very little, then they are all about the same distance away.
No, so the spawn area is, well, it's now 64 meters long. It's 32 meters long in your build. It's quite a lot of area they are allowed to spawn in. Oh, hello, Dora. Yes, it is coming up to food time. Though I will make the spawn area a little bit wider as well, just a bit, because I can easily move out of it. And obviously they shouldn't be. Wait, why is that not centered? bear in mind, on a real vehicle, there's not that many cues as to how fast you're going a lot of the time. Certainly on a motorway or something, there's technically a blur of the ground, but that's about it. And as I said before, I have driven some distance very, very fast on a motorbike, and when you come down to just 70 miles an hour, you're going, oh, I'm doing 10, and you glance down, you're still doing 70. Human beings are spectacularly bad at having a.
Yes. James May said one time that he was doing, what was it, fastest car around Nürburgring or something. Bugatti Veyron, it's 300 miles an hour or something going around this thing. And he said he was getting ready to get out the car, and he glanced down at the speedo and it's doing 22 miles an hour.
Yeah, I actually remember it was when I came to see you. We went to the cinema, and there was a long bit of road, and I just hooned it down that bit of road really, really fast. And there's a roundabout at the end of it, so I slowed down for the roundabout. Glance down, I'm still doing 70. I'm approaching the roundabout at 70 miles an hour because my sense of speed had absolutely gone.
Yeah.
So Shaka, because I've increased the rate at which they spawn, if I wait around for a while, this area will end up probably fairly densely packed because it just spawns particles. Oh, that's not too bad, is it? That's how many spawn in front of you if you're not moving. And just up to a theoretical maximum of that many. That's quite unlikely. Yeah, I will definitely make that live in the next build.
It just seems more pleasing, even with the Discord difficulty to see.
Yeah, you can definitely see them further away. They will not necessarily last. If you're moving slower than 6 meters per second, one can definitely spawn and then fade out before it hits you. If you're moving, but almost, they probably were at 6 meters per second, you should never see one disappear. You should always outrun it.
Right, time to say goodnight, guys.
Yes, I need to get to bed too. So thank you, stream, for watching. You're all awesome. And hopefully a few people will watch this back and go, ooh, I want to buy this game.